Hello, everyone. For some reason, the keyboard shortcut to unmute my microphone is just fucking broken now. I don't know. I don't know. Everything is just dying, and around me, including my spine, and you know, everything. But welcome back. It is Dungeons and Dragons. There is at least one dungeon, in this place, and at least one. Well, spoilers. Anyway, so. We are here with some more one-on-one D&D. We have the wonderful Iris right above me, who is playing Eao. Eao is, well, I need not introduce her. She's a fantastic rogue, a street magician, and now a senior politician. And now I'm going to go and unmute Iris, who I'm almost already calling Eao because my brain just immediately gets into DM mode. And yeah, we'll get cracking. Hey, Iris.
Hello, happy birthday.
God damn it, every time. So that's the last time I will call you Iris, and from now on it will be Eao, because my brain just sees the word Eao right, it's literally right in front of my eyes right now, directly under your face, and it's like, yep, that's it. That's who she is now. It's Eao. So there's not much of a recap to do this time around, because chronologically it is exactly the same time as the last session. So you will be waking up the same morning that Bree woke up as grounded, and so no recap because really it hasn't happened yet. I will say one thing I'm just going to do for my own sanity is say that you cannot go to any of the places that Grounded went to at the same time Grounded is there. You can go to it before or afterwards, but not at the same exact time, because otherwise my brain is going to hurt, with one exception that we already know, which is the lecture at the end of the day, where you've already said that you would have been there throwing paper, and I'm fine with that, because that was in the session. So, yeah, otherwise, though, like, my brain won't be able to handle all the retconning and all that I'd have to do to sort it out, but that's okay. I'm going to start
I'll have to drag Green here live to retcon it.
Yeah. Just like get in the chat so we can work out what would have happened. I'm gonna start off with a fairly simple question, which has serious ramifications. So I need you to think seriously about this. Is Eao a morning person or a night owl?
Eao is a morning person in the sense that sometimes she's awake when it becomes morning.
Okay, that works for me. And
now I have a question for you.
Okay.
Except it's not for you, it's for our current patron. I forget her name.
Okay, well let me narrate your arrival to the kitchen first, because there's a few bits that will hit your eyes and ears and also your nose on the way down. So you woke up a little bit later than Grounded, because Grounded, as a new single mother, is being woken up constantly by the sounds of peeping and screeching from these harpies. So Grounded probably would have woken up the equivalent of like 4 in the morning. You, I suppose, would have been awake, but not necessarily up. But you come downstairs and you can hear sobbing, pleading, bargaining, no acceptance, and a lot of peeping and screeching. And you come down into the kitchen, and there is your landlady, your rescuer as well, who of course you've rescued too, and her name is, and I've remembered it, it's Petra Cosmina, and she's there, and she's got she's got all 4 harpies, and they're sort of flapping around. They're not actually able to fly yet, but they're sort of flapping and jumping on things and screeching constantly, making a huge mess. The smell is just because they've knocked over a lot of jars of things. Like it's not like medical jars, or it's like pickles and stuff like that, and it's all over on the floor, and they're stepping in flour and stepping in everything, and she just looks at you and goes, help.
I do gotta say, Nick, it is very cruel of you to have named her Petra.
Help. Well, her original name was it was Petralopis and then I can't remember what it was, but it's essentially the Greek for rock and stone to the bone. But no, Petra Kosmina, the gem in stone. It's a perfectly nice name. But yeah, she needs your help.
Let me see what I have. I got bread.
That'll help.
I pull out bread.
Yeah, that'll help. You can totally feed birds bread. That's fine. Nothing bad happens if you do that.
I pull out the bread.
Okay, they look up at you. They just start like, instead of screeching so much, they're kind of like peeping. They go beep 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 beep, and then they like open their mouths quite wide. And their mouths are odd because they're like beaks, but they have human teeth. Very odd. And then they're like, and they're like waiting for you to feed them now with bits of bread.
I toss the bread behind me to the other room.
Okay,
they
they flap off and jump down off the counters and all that they're on and just start waddling over there. They're pretty good at walking now. They kind of need to use their wings for balance a little bit, and they're occasionally bumping into each other and start snapping at each other with their beaks and have a little mini fight on the way. One of them's wandered off in the wrong direction, forgotten exactly which way everything was going, and then sort of veers back. But they take the bait. They go for the bread, and they go into the other room. And Petra looks at you like she needs to go back to bed. She's leaning against the counter, just like, she's only been gone an hour.
Yeah, babysitting those monsters is the worst.
Yeah.
I'd carry them in my coat for almost a day.
I don't know how you did it. I'm at my edge. I don't know what to feed them either. I thought, well, they tried going for my breakfast, but I thought that would be a bad idea because I was having fried eggs, and that's probably not a thing. But maybe they eat eggs. I don't know. I don't know what to do with them. I just got left with them.
She really needs to pay people for these services.
Yeah, and not me. I'm a geologist. I know rocks. Gems and things. They don't go beep 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 unless you get the... Alright, so there's one called Peristerian Blue. I don't know if you see... You carve it in half, and as you carve it, the axe makes a specific sound as it slices through, as it claves through. It's really interesting. It sounds like a scream. Sorry, I love rocks.
Speaking of, this is actually something I've been wondering about. Do you remember back in the labyrinth where we found you?
Mm-hmm.
Outside that room, there was that one giant glowing crystal.
Yes, I was. Well, I had a brief moment to study it before everything went wrong.
I'm going to pull out of her hat the chunk of crystal I pried off of it. What even is it? It's still warm.
She snatches out of your hand quickly and starts looking it up close up to the light that's coming through the window. Just like, I don't have all of my glasses for looking at this, but it is fascinating. Look, and she holds it up and she says, "Look through the window. Look."
I look through,
and you look through, and it's snowing. But then you look away, and it's a sunny day. That's either 4 months ago or 8 months from now. Fantastic.
In one of the adjacent rooms, there was a turnable mirror that when you turned it, it changed the murals on the wall to look like different seasons. So it could be something like that.
Well, what if it wasn't changing the murals? What if it was showing you a different time?
Someone had to be very dedicated for that.
There's someone here in Cantlore who might be able to do something rather nice with this. If it is showing a different time and not an alternate reality, then perhaps take it to one of the artificers. They're not well, they're not students here, because they're not really magic. You know, they're not really mages. We only let in the best here, you know? But there are a couple, we keep them to, not keep them like pets, but, you know, we have them, we pay them to maintain all the magical equipment. They're quite good at that. But there's a couple here we've got, itinerant ones. They might be able to make something nice for you out of that. Something interesting.
That would be interesting.
Seeing other times is at least fascinating. Might be good for historians too, if you find any.
I do have to spend today getting the general lay of this land. If we're going to need multiple people to open the various locks in that mirror world of yours, I'm at least going to need to know what I have to work with.
Oh, yes. Well...
So, and to that end, do you happen to have a clipboard?
She pats her pockets like, what am I doing? Somewhere. Give me a moment, and she snaps her fingers and sticks her hand through a pocket in space and pulls out a clipboard. There you go. I have a little chest, it lives somewhere else.
Perfect. And with this, my cover is protected.
It's like, okay. I thought you'd use it to write some notes or something, not?
I point the clipboard at her as I say this. You'll be surprised how far you could get in life with a clipboard and a confident smile.
That's something Gargoyle always used to say. Oh, he's around here. If you find Gargoyle, he'll help you. He can make things. Yeah. He'll probably find you, actually. He does that a lot.
Ominous. Also not good for me. I do have an advantage over the others about not being found, but I don't want to risk it.
Okay, that was cryptic. But whatever you say.
I mean, when it comes to scrying, the rest of them were captured. They have a lot of information on them, very little on me.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Scries only get better the more you know.
Yes, very true. Well, you could get someone to shield you from scrying, if you can make a friend in the Abjuras, perhaps. But you've got to be careful who you talk to. You don't know who's going to be on your side or not.
Yeah, and I have a lot of ground to cover.
Well, I can tell you that there are a number of locks in the mirror run. I did manage from my notes to get the names of them, which might give you some clue of where to go.
I actually had one question about those locks. What is the specifics it takes to open one?
Each one is different, I think.
So it's not just cast a high enough level spell at them?
No. I know the names because I have some old plans from when it was first being built. They're not detailed, just a general sort of who was assigned to what and that sort of thing.
But I suppose we should start at the beginning then. What's the name of the first lock we're going to have to open?
Depends where you go. It's kind of twisty in the mirror run. You can end up in all sorts of places pretty quickly. But maybe the song lock? That's probably pretty close. There's also... Well, shall I... I'll list them off. I'll list off the ones I know. And she sort of starts counting on her hand. So it's the song lock. There's the crystal lock. Which I've not seen. The gem lock. That, I know where that one is. I've been told to avoid that one. Because it's broken. But then there's the bestial lock. And the god lock. I think
Not
that's
feeling
it.
very confident about that last one.
Well, don't you have a paladin with you?
Yes, but we also have a bard who has butted heads with gods more than once.
Well, as long as you don't take them in with you, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Just to give you an idea of this situation, have you ever met Morian face to face? Face to creepy floating face that follows you through the woods?
No?
I have, because our bard decided to scam their followers.
You've met the god of death?
Yes, and it was creepy as hell.
Oh. That... Wow. And, well, you lived.
I suppose that is an upside.
I try to look on the upside. Stops me collapsing into a spiral of despair when everything's going wrong and your life's collapsing around you, and your job's probably going to be gone in 2 days because you're harboring criminals.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Just don't get caught. Don't get caught. Don't tell them where I am. Don't get caught. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. She starts sort of fiddling with a corner of her robe, just sort of holding it and twisting it between her fingers as she's saying that.
Okay, well, I do have to get the lay of the land, and by the sounds of things, they're about done with that bread, so I better go.
You hear the peeping just starting to get louder and louder as you pop out the door. No, wait, don't. And then door closed behind. Okay, so you are currently in the stacks, an area of sort of piled high buildings that sort of all crisscross over each other. And this is where most people live, in the stacks. With the exception of first year students who live in the halls, and also any tenured professors. They tend to live in like quite nice places near where they work. So where would you like to go to first? Your nearest areas are the Whisper Watch, which is the communications network. That's where Grounded headed first, although she would have just left there by now. There's the Overlook Tavern, which is just around the corner, which is a pub. There's the Libraria, which is an entrance into the library. Then you have the shops, the halls, and the various schools of evocation, abjuration, illusion, necromancy, the bestiary, and the god hall. There's also the spell hall, but that's...
What's that place between necromancy and bestiary?
That is nothing at the moment. Oh, okay. The Portalarium. That is where you arrived. Yes. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong area. Yeah, that's the where the portal comes in.
Okay, just getting some context.
Yep. Also in the top right you have Conjurer's Roost, which is where most conjuration magic is done, and Sky Theatre, which is where the bards put on very interesting performances and plays and the like.
I think starting off, I'll probably head to the School of Evocation, see what's going on over there.
Okay, so you head down to the School of Evocation. I will open my notes to the right page, because I've got notes for every school now. Okay. Excellent. I'd forgotten about this character. Okay, so you head over to the School of Evocation, and as you're heading down there, you see that there are these little orbs floating around in the air, and they stop occasionally and just sort of hover over someone before going on to the next one. You get the feeling they're looking for someone, and it's probably all of you. Now, they don't know what you look like. Luckily, you've not... But, well... They might know what you look like now, because several wizards saw you in the Portalarium. So they might have put two and two together, and they might be looking for you. So, if you would like to hide from them, I will take a stealth roll for moving.
Several wizards saw me, but they saw me sprinting by them at full speed.
That is true, and your full speed is quite high as well. So, up to you. Up to you. You can try and move stealthily, or I will roll essentially percentile dice to determine if they actually recognize you.
I'm going to just like kind of walk unsuspiciously, but try to avoid the general areas where they are.
Okay, I will take that as stealth.
Okay.
That's a stealth skill to me. Even if you're not skulking in shadows, you're still using that knowledge and skill set.
That is a 13 plus 5. That's an 18.
That's plenty. That's plenty. They don't know what they're looking for yet 100%. They might, the person piloting this scrying orb might specifically be looking, for example, for a paladin instead. So you slip through pretty well. And there's quite a bit of crowd out at the moment. It's early morning, well, mid-morning probably now. So there's plenty of people around. You can duck in and out, and that's no problem. So you make it past a little shed with an old wooden sign on the front that says School of Transmutation, and then towards the Flux Quadrangle, which is an area of very intense magical spikes that sort of fluctuate constantly, hence the name. There's a lot of hot areas and cold areas, but the path is actually safe. It's kind of like you're walking through rippling fields of magic, and you can feel you can feel that that feeling in your teeth when you touch a magical item. That sort of tingling there, that burnt copper taste as well. You're getting that really strong as you're going through. There's a lot of ambient magic here. And then it's a right turn to the School of Evocation, which is quite a dull building for what's going on inside, really. What is your passive perception?
My passive perception is a whopping 11.
11. Okay, I don't know if it would be that hard to notice. No. I think 11's too low. But that's fine. You head on up to the front doors. I assume there's no real other ways in. That's one thing you have noticed with your thieves' eye. There are no windows. There's just one door at the front. It kind of looks a bit like a building that wants to look like a normal school hall or something like that, but is suspiciously designed like a fortress.
Well, I'm going to take out my clipboard, put a piece of paper on it, so I'm not just walking around with an empty clipboard.
Okay.
I'm just going to walk right in.
All right, you walk right in. So as you open the doors, you feel a rush of hot air from inside, and again you get that real feeling, like almost like your teeth are going to fall out. There's that tingling is atrocious now. And you step on through, and it's oddly boring in here. The walls are all they're all tile. They're all white tile. The floors are made of some sort of material. It's a little like modern concrete, but it's kind of like pulverized stone instead. And it's completely flat. And you see there's occasional scorch marks and that sort of thing here, where maybe a spell's not gone right. But it's interesting because the corridor is 10 feet wide, but it's 5 feet high, and it just keeps going. And there's door. And none of them have windows or anything like that. And you get the feeling again that this is probably to increase structural stability should something go wrong. But as you're going along, you keep an ear out. And you can hear one of the doors, behind one of those doors, is the sound of a voice. All the others have been silent, but there's one who's going, again, harder, more. And then this sound that I can only describe as phoom. Like, it is extremely loud, but because it's behind all this wall, it's kind of muffled a little, and you just woof. And that it actually extends for about 10 seconds as you go, and then stops, and then there's silence. And then a second later you hear, yes, like that, only we'll need to do it about 150 times more. But good start, everybody. All right. Should we break for brunch? I want to get some of that gabagool.
I suppose this will be the moment where I walk in.
Okay, you walk in and there's a dwarf wearing extremely thick leather clothing, all over him, just like brown leather overalls, just covered in scorch marks, and his beard is actually a little bit on fire at the moment, and like a little wisp of smoke coming off it, and he just pats it down and he goes, that was good. And what you're looking at is there's a metal chamber. It's a cylindrical chamber, and it is about, and this is inside the room you're in. The room is very much like the corridor, it's just more square, but this metal chamber is probably about 10 feet long and has a radius of about 3 or 4 feet, so it's quite wide. And on the far side of the wall is this massive black circle of soot and char. On the opposite side of this chamber that he's looking at, and he has actually bent down. And he's stuck his head into the open end of it. Like if you imagine what a cannon would look like, it's a little bit like that. And he's looking in and going, yeah, this is magnificent. All right, well, somebody get me some meat while I take a look at the firing mechanism. But this is great. And he turns and he sees you and goes, hey, what are you doing in here?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm one of the new interns that the dean brought in. I was asked to go around to the various different departments, and I'm not supposed to actually say this, but I'm supposed to mark down things that may be unsafe.
Unsafe?
There's been a lot of
in here.
There's been a lot of.
He pats again at his beard.
There's been a lot of complaints lately about the general safety issues of the school. A lot of people feel that their lives are unnecessarily in danger. They're pushing for higher safety standards. So I'm supposed to be going around and surveying various projects and departments to see what could be improved.
You coming in here and talking to me about safety, right? You know what I'm looking at here? You know what this is? Kiddo, you seen one of these before? Of course you haven't. I invented it. This is not safe by any means. This is world-leading research, and that is never safe. Do you know what makes a good evocation wizard? Of course you don't. You're not one. A good evocation wizard has no fear. And he steps back and he goes, again! And someone is pouring in this mixture, this liquid mixture into one side. And he goes, again, I don't care, don't fill it up, just do it. And they jump back and they smack the side of it with a cane. And this pillar of fire comes out the front. And it is probably about 4 inches away from him. He stood right next to it with these heavy industry goggles staring at it going, yeah, that's what I like to see. It's perfect, all right? You think you can make one of these? One of these? And you could barely hear him over the roaring sound of the flame. One of these? If you're a coward? No. You go back to the dean. You tell him, come down here and tell me to my face, that he wants me to make safe things in here, the School of Evocation.
Sir, please. First of all, I'm just an intern. Second of all, I'm just taking notes for now. There's going to be an official meeting they'll be announced in a couple of weeks. You could, if you want to yell at the dean, then feel free.
Screw your meeting. Somebody get me some fucking meat. Hey, where's the gabagool? And he's only got 2 interns, and they're going between refueling this thing and running out the door to get this guy some processed meat, and then just constantly swapping between the 2 jobs whenever he changes his mind.
I just gotta ask, how much of your budget do you think really goes into, say, healing people? The gems needed to heal or resurrect people who die. And how much more after that goes into the therapy? Think about the mental scars that leaves, having to die all the time like that. 1 death is horrifying. 5 is. Think about the lack of safety. The lack of.
They need that. We'll just stick them in front of the cannon. It's fine.
I'm just saying the lack of safety is really cutting into your budget. Think of what you could be doing with all that extra gold.
Would let me buy another dragon, that's true.
But again, this is just a preliminary thing. I just have a few questions I need to be asking. What is the purpose of your research and or study?
Well, it's simple. We're making fire. Fire you can control. This is more than a fireball. This is the most powerful fire magic you've ever seen. But you know what the interesting thing is? You don't need any magic at all for that. This is alchemical. Really? That liquid mixture? It's dragon's blood. It's alchemist's fire. It's a couple of other bits. It's lamp oil. Mix it all together. You hit it, and it goes whoomph. You know what the interesting thing is? We had to bolt this thing, and he's pointing again to the massive cylinder, to the ground, because when that thing started firing, it started moving on its own. What if we pointed that upwards? Think how far this thing could go. With enough of this, we can go up to the moon.
Going to the moon? That sounds insane.
Hey, is the moon elves? I hear they made a cheese or something, and that'd go great with the gabagool.
I'm not sure that's how that works, but I'll roll with it.
We'll find out when we get there.
Doesn't this all seem kind of inconvenient? Wouldn't it be more useful if it was in a more portable method?
Well, I mean, it starts big and we make it smaller later. You got to get it right first.
Fair enough.
A small version might be interesting. You could, I don't know, kill someone with it or something. I'm not interested in killing one person when he could kill 100 people. Someone turn that machine on again, and like the interns are running around with meat. They're like, but we haven't filled it up yet. Turn it on! And they're like quickly trying to refill it again.
Question 2: how many accidents and or deaths have you had in the past month?
Don't know. Don't keep count.
Research? If you're to give an estimate.
At least 6. And one of the interns like raised their hand. It was 25. I was like, did I say to speak? Fill up that cannon and we're going again.
And this is the third and final question. So, if any sort of changes were to be made, what would you like to see happen as a part of these changes?
I'm gonna need more fire, more dragons,
or
more
a
interns.
Theoretical restructuring.
Yeah. All right, get rid of the School of Abjuration. They're useless. Bunch of nannies trying to keep us here. You know, they're always walking around behind us casting shield and all that nonsense. Nah, drop it. Get rid of it. They're a waste of our time. We don't need a shield. Offense is the best defense. Why we got a shield around here? Why don't we just fly out there, torch every other city that doesn't give us what we want, and just keep going? We're wizards. We're so powerful.
That is a very good point.
You know I'm right.
So is this all you're working on, or are there other projects being done?
There's some other things going on, but this is the main one. This is the main one. There's someone trying to make a fireball do ice or some nonsense like that. I don't care. It's weak stuff. It's going to kill like 10 people at most.
Do you happen to know what room that's in? This place is very confusing.
Down the end of the hall, turn right.
Okay, I thank you for your time, and again, like, if you have any complaints, just, there'll be a meeting in a couple of weeks, you can yell at the dean then.
Alright, before you go, what's your name?
Oh, Salius.
Huh. Alright. I don't... Well, maybe I just don't know your name. I would have thought I'd heard of you before.
I just started last week. I'm just... I'm an unpaid intern. I'm just running around taking whatever notes the dean needs.
And he relaxes a little bit and he laughs and he's like, "Oh, you might not even make it to the end of the week, though. I don't know why I'm worrying. All right, get out of here."
I am going to go to where he pointed me.
Yep, sure. So down the end of the hallway, and on the right. It's again, all of these doors are identical. You get the feeling most of the experience in there, either they don't last very long because everyone dies, or they're kind of start here and then move on to somewhere else as they get more dangerous. But you enter another room, and it is much colder in here. And there's two people in white robes. Not like cleric's robes, but they kind of look like lab coats, basically. And they're drawing on a blackboard, and they're scribbling symbols of all kinds. They're not just mathematical. There's some arcane symbols that you recognize with your proficiency in Arcana. There's sort of various occult symbols as well, and they're like, yeah, but if we invert the energy, then it's got to go somewhere, right? Like with Fireball, it comes from somewhere, but can we just channel it back in there? What happens if we channel it back in there? Are we gonna like create a rift or something like that? And that's what you overhear as you open the door. But as you open the door, it makes a clicking sound, and they turn and they look at you and go, "Oh, what's going on?" So one of them is a hobgoblin in a big lab coat. And the other one is a fair bit smaller, is a human. And the human is the one who goes, "Oh, what are you doing here?"
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just going around to the different departments, the different schools, and doing a general safety survey. Apparently, we've been getting complaints about too much accidents and deaths.
You met Toasted Salucci already, yeah?
25 in the past month.
He gets away with it because he produces results, you know. We're theorists. We don't make accidents. If accidents have gone wrong, our theory's gone wrong. It's useless. He acts before he thinks, you know.
Yeah, I getcha. I'm just here going around a survey with a few questions. Do you mind if I take a bit of your time?
Sure. We probably need a break to toss it all around in our head anyway.
So what is the purpose of your study and or experiment?
And the hobgoblin turns and says, it's simple. We're inverting energy to change an existing spell, make it, in this case, fireball cold ball, snowball, I suppose. And he chuckles a little. Just a little evocation joke.
So like a big chromatic orb.
They look at each other and mutter for a second, and the human looks up at you and like, yeah.
That was a joke, not an idea.
No, they were like, it's different. It's different from a chromatic orb. They're different spells, okay? Like, and you get the feeling you kind of rattled them with that. Like, they hadn't considered you just using chromatic orb. But like, no, they're different things. They're different things, okay? This is real science.
How many accidents have you had in the past month?
No, we don't have accidents.
So no injuries? No, nothing that could have been prevented by, say, a better standardization of safety measures?
They sort of mutter under their breath a little bit. And they're like, well, it's not really related to the Reese. No, it's fine. No, nothing that...
Oh no, please, continue. Anything helps.
And I keep trying to say bugbear. Hobgoblin. The hobgoblin goes, this one got in a drinking competition with some bards. Fell over his head. nothing really you can do with different research standards. He just needs to stop drinking. And the human's gone bright red.
You don't drink with bards. It's always a bad idea. Or a good idea, depending on how much fun you want to have.
Well, if you see the brass cannons, you steer clear, because they drink everything out of an old boot. I don't think it's been cleaned, either.
I mean, I'm sure it's sterilized, thanks to all the alcohol.
I don't think it is.
And finally, if there's any sort of changes or restructuring you would like to see, what would that be?
If you could get rid of Giuseppe, he's wasting all of our budget. We've got... Do you know how much money we've got to make this change? To make this fundamental change? The structure of the weave itself? 100 gold pieces. Come on.
I mean, I'm an unpaid intern and I'm paid more than that. That's sad.
I mean, we're paid, but I mean that's the research budget. He's sitting on 10,000 gold pieces.
Yeah.
It's just...
I hear he's petitioning for another dragon.
Another one? Oh my god. What we wouldn't do for just like a pearl of power or something to make it easier.
I don't know. I don't see why he just doesn't try to outsource the dragon blood to the School of Transmutation. See if they could just make the stuff.
He hates the other schools. We'd be better off if one of his experiments killed him. We hoped for it. And the bugbear goes, "You didn't hear us say that." And just like puts a hand on the human's like, "You did not hear us say that." And he's like, Don't.
Don't worry, I heard nothing. I begin making random scribbles on the...
They're like, don't. Come on, we've been very honest with you. Just leave that off. Don't...
Scratch.
Thank you.
I like scratch it off.
Because have you seen the size of that cannon in the other room?
Yeah, I have. It's very impressive.
Nah. No, that's not them saying that. That's me, the DM, just giggling at that. Okay.
Well, I think I have all I need. It's not a long survey. It's literally just the 3 questions.
Okay. Well, if we can help you with anything, just ask. You know, we don't get to talk too much to many people, aside from the brass cannons, of course, but they're usually drunk.
I mean, bards normally are, in my experience.
Yeah. Yeah, they really can drink, can't they? I wonder if that's all they do up there.
I'll be honest, I have no idea. I'm new here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, oh yeah, you said, didn't you? You're an intern. Yeah. It's weird, because we don't have an intern project. Everyone is just a student.
Look, I just signed a flyer. I was given a job. I've been running around taking notes for people who are paid a lot of money.
What did you say your name was again?
Mike did not pick that up.
Oh, what did you say your name was again?
Teria. Why do you ask?
Terrier? Like the dog?
No. Terry, not
Oh.
It ends with an A.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Perister name or something like that?
I mean, it's technically Garakian, but...
Doesn't sound it, but... You get weird names out there. I'm from a place in Perister myself, actually. Yeah. A place called Dragonlance.
How often do you get news here?
Well, it depends. You go up to Whisperwatch if you want any news, but I get the feeling that old Theric, He's a postmaster there, you see. I get the feeling he kind of only tells us stuff we want to hear.
You may wanna ask him about Dragonlands.
Okay. Why? Something happened?
Well, there was a town called Dragonlands about a month ago. There's
What do you mean was?
It's not a town there anymore. I'm deeply sorry.
He's like, Mummy! And he runs out of the room, and he's heading off, just running. And the bugbear looks at you and goes, why'd you have to do that?
I mean, he deserves to know.
What, that his parents are dead?
I mean, it's better that he knows than find out when he goes on vacation next.
I suppose you're right, but now I'm going to have to deal with him as well. Moping about, well, he mopes about best of times. Alright. Well, you better get going. I'm going to have to get his favourite scones. A little bit of butter, and then he likes a little bit of raspberry jam, and then we get the cream tea going, and that calms him right down.
And as he's describing all this, I'm already gone.
Yep, okay. Are you staying in the School of Evocation? I will say I've got no other rooms in this building prepared, but
Nah, I think I got what I need here.
Okay, whereabouts are you heading?
Well, I mean, the School of Transmutation is literally right outside.
It is. It is. Let me load up the School of Transmutation then. So you walk on out into the Flux Quadrangle, and again you're assaulted by that sort of mix of magical energy that is constantly ebbing and flowing over you. And yeah, you get to this tiny shed that says the School of Transmutation, and there's a little sort of rickety old door on the front, and you pull it open, and this massive hallway inside with two spiral staircases like arching up in front of you, it greets you on the inside. And yeah, it is absolutely much larger on the inside. Standing in the center of the hallway is a relatively tall woman with blonde hair who's wearing sort of quite fine robes and is currently directing a few people around, and she's saying, yes, so today you're going to want 3 lefts and a right to get over to your office, and you're going to want 2 lefts and a right, so go with them most of the way. You're going to want to go upstairs now. I know you were downstairs last week, but it's upstairs now, your office, and going on like that. And, come over here, will you please? And she gestures at you and says, everything's changed, I'm afraid.
Why has everything changed?
And she sees you, and her eyes narrow for a second and then widen, and she's like, Salius Monvale, as I live and breathe. Last time I bounced you on my knee, you were small enough to bounce on my knee. You've grown and changed. How is dear Mama and Papa, and the whole woods for that matter? I've not been back since I last saw you, I think, when you were a wee baby. Oh, you probably don't remember me. I'm so sorry. She runs over to you and she wraps her arms around you in a hug. And as you make contact with her, you realize that she is FEY.
Well, I'll be damned.
It's like, well, it's me, Eleanor. Did your parents tell you about me, Eleanor Silverstride? I was practically your aunt at one point. I mean, not really an aunt. Not by birth, but you know. Auntie Eleanor? Remember me?
I haven't been home in a long time. I don't remember much of over there.
And she, as you get a closer look at her, you can see that she has sort of these sparkling silver eyes. They look almost like you're looking through, like, top down on a diamond. They're almost like multifaceted in a way. and they sparkle a little bit, and there's a glow about her cheeks as if there's little stars just in front of her head. She goes, "Oh, well, you've not been back in age. Hang on a minute. Well, I suppose it depends on the local time versus the time in the forest. It's not 1-to-1. How long have you been here?"
Almost a decade now.
Wait, but that would mean... How old when you left?
I was 10. I got lost in the forest and ended up here.
And she hugged you and then sort of pulled back enough so that she could look you in the eyes. And she hugs you again and says, "Oh, my poor dear soul, my poor dear soul. If only I'd known, I would have taken you straight back." Why didn't your parents come for you?
I mean, how much do they actually know about the forest itself? As far as I knew back then, it was just some place I went to hide away from them or have adventures.
Well, but even so, they must surely be able to find you. If you went a-walking and a-wandering and made it this side of the curtain...
I mean...
She puts her hand to her mouth like, "Oh no."
I mean, this may explain why they couldn't find me yet. I hold out my hand, going for her to gesturing for her to take it.
She takes your hand.
As she does, I'm not sure if she would have realized it before, but she can very distinctly feel that I am actually FEY.
Yeah. And obviously you get that same feeling from her as well. It's like, well, this is a surprise, isn't it, Salius?
Unlike them, I have an invitation.
Well, no wonder they couldn't find you. But if I'd been there, I should have gone back. And she looks at you and there's a little tear in her eyes. "I should have gone back. You've lost so much time."
It's been... I've certainly used that time well.
And she sort of looks around and realizes, there's still a lot of people actually looking at the two of you. She says, come with me. We'll sit in my office and catch up. Yes, come with office. Where is the office today? It is okay, upstairs. Follow me. And she starts sort of muttering to herself, "Upstairs, 2 rights, 3rd left, then a right." And so you go up the long spiral staircases, and the rooms here are beautiful. They're covered in gold trim. There's a lot of marble statuary and that sort of thing. It's like, sorry, the building changes every few days or so. Something we're working on a little bit to try to fix, but it was an accident. It's quite recent, so we're not 100% used to it. And as she's walking through, she's like, that's the office of the Underdean. He's dead. That one, who's in there today? Oh, that's going to be. Oh Lord, who is in there today? And she opens the door and like, hey, who's in here today? And you hear a little gnome squeak. It's like, it's me, Transmutex. And she, okay, Tullywug. Sorry, record keeper. And she's just walking along and makes a few more left and right turns, and eventually you get to a pretty magnificent set of double doors that are almost they're sort of white wood with gold filigree all over it. This is my office. This time, last time, this room was where we kept the files about where the office had been, because it was a tiny room. Last time it was only a couple of cabinets in there, but now, and she opens it up and there's like fountains, there's like almost like an aqueduct going along with little fish swimming up and down in it. So this is my office, and she takes you in, and there's this little sofa with a little table, and she sits down there, and she says, "Can I get you a glass of wine or something?" Wait, what is the time? It's probably too early for wine. Well, I suppose... No, it's not every day you see your godchild. So let's have some wine. You said, and she does some maths in her 20, right? 20? Yeah, that's fine. Have some wine, and she snaps a finger and says, yes, will you get the good vintage, please, please, servant? And there's no one there, but a bottle floats over and pours into a glass. You probably know enough magic to recognize the spell Unseen Servant here is at play.
So, I do have a bit of question. Just Ao trying to remember what she can. Was this someone who was like a part of her parents' old adventuring party back when they were adventurers?
You don't know, probably, because she saw you last when you were a toddler. So you can ask this question as Ao and might get more of an answer.
I don't mean to be rude, but like I sadly don't have much memories of you. How did you know my parents?
Well, I lived near them in the woods, and we had a sort of deal, where I would keep them safe from some of the things in the woods that weren't particularly nice to people, and in exchange, they gave me a home of sorts. I was invited in. I was treated like a member of the family. I don't know if you know so much about us. About me, I mean. But where I come from, they're friendly on the outside. Do you understand? They'll smile at you and call you family, but there's a coldness at their heart. A cast iron coldness. They will betray you as soon as it helps them. It's funny I say that it's cast iron, because obviously, well, you know about iron, right?
Yeah, I'm aware.
But there's no love in that, and I'm not 100% of that world. And she goes, well, you probably know I'm a fey elf. I'm Eladrin, and I don't do well so much with the. And she sort of bites her tongue, because she's not used to saying much. Because if you say much to the Fae, you give them power, and you give them power over you. And she's like,
but I get it. You don't have to. I am curious though. Are you an Eladrin from the Feywilds, or are you one from the Emerald Forest?
I started in the Feywild, and it was really bad. It was really bad. My family were horrible, but I moved away from there and I made it to the Emerald Forest through, well, a fairy door. And I probably lived there for 500 years. I didn't really see many people. I lived off the land, and it was peaceful. I didn't trust anyone at that point. But then I met a party of adventurers. They'd wandered in. I don't think they even knew they'd wandered in. Sometimes that happens, though you don't know you've... And then she looks and you goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, you know that." But they were lost, and I helped them, and in exchange they gave me a place to live that was far away from the FEY, where they couldn't reach me.
I mean, to be fair, it was only the first time I accidentally wandered in. I'd honestly been playing there with my sisters. Sorry, the other fairies there for probably a couple years before I ended up getting lost.
She puts her hand on her head and went, "Oh, my poor dear, I should have been there to help you. I could have taught you how to deal with the FEY safely. Those fairies probably weren't your friend."
Have you? You said you didn't interact much with the other FEY in the Force. Did you ever meet the Queen herself?
She sits back and goes a little... Well, I can't really say goes pale, because one thing about the Eladrin is they are pretty ghostly pale already. But the glow around her cheek sort of fades a little. She says, Once, not something I would like to do again."
I mean, she's fairly strict about her domain. She doesn't take to dishonesty very well. If it was any other FEY, I'd probably agree with you, but in the forest, if they tell me I'm safe there, I believe them.
There's... The interesting thing about us FEY is we don't really lie so much as omit the truth. After all, you were probably quite safe in the Emerald Forest, but the moment they walked you through a portal somewhere else...
Yeah. Admittedly, this is partially my own doing. Everything that happened. I mean, it was for a couple years. It was pretty standard. I'd get bored. I'd go out to play with them, and as long as I stayed with them, they'd always take me home. One time, they weren't paying too much attention, and I wandered off. I don't think they realized I'd gone until it was too late.
She looks at you and her jaw sort of sets a little, you know. She's like she wants to say something, but doesn't want to say it necessarily. And after a moment, she's like, "Okay, don't blame yourself. You were a child. If there's anyone to blame, it's me. I should have come back to protect you."
There's literally no way you could have found.
Well, perhaps I should have been a divination wizard after all. Never did get on well with tea leaves. It was said the most dastardly things about me. So strange. I left that life behind so many years ago, and here you are. How did you get here?
I mean, the forest, it's not just connected to the primaterial plane of our world, it's connected to all of them. A lot of people assume it's just another demi-plane of some sort. But it's so much more. It's the connective tissues between the possible realities.
She nods and says, yes. But I more mean, how did you get to Cantlore?
Oh, well, we took a boat.
She laughs a little. She says, "Let's have a little more wine," and the unseen servant pours a little bit more. So you took a boat. So are you a wizard then?
I mean, I can do a bit of magic. I pull out a big card, a deck of cards. I shuffle them. Pick a card.
She looks at you and
Come on, just humor me.
But
just humor me.
All right. It's not the deck of many things, right?
No, it's not. No,
Okay,
this is just...
takes a card.
Okay, cool. Just asking you, for the sake of the trick, what card did she pull?
Let's say it is the Three of Cups.
Okay, cool. Now put it back in anywhere in the deck.
Okay. Slides it back in.
I shuffle it. I pull out a card. Is this your card? And it's the Ace of Hearts.
It's like, no, it's not.
Oh, sorry. Is this your card? Seven of Clubs.
No.
Damn deck. I toss up in the air. Every other card is the Three of Cups.
She's like, oh, that's superb. Oh, a nice. That's it. Hang on. Is that transmutation magic?
No, it's a marked deck. I start picking up some of the cards.
Oh.
Sorry to say, but like there's no magical potential in me, regardless of how hard I tried.
Then how did they let you in? You've got to be able to cast at least a 5th level spell to get in here.
I mean, I could cast Run Fast at 5th level.
The cogs just start wearing like the bulletin. You're the one that they're looking for. Oh, Sally's. What have you done?
Okay, so it all started when I accidentally joined an adventurers guild in Crackling. One thing led to another. The old guild master, who happened to be the low marshal of the city, he used us as a way to try to incite a war between Garaki and Karaki. Well, we ended up having to kill him. I was forced into the position of low marshal.
You're a politician? Or a general? You're a general?
Not my choice. It was a horrendous deal. Honestly, I really should have seen it coming, given who I grew up with. Well, one thing led to another, and there is currently a large sphere of anti-magic stuck in the middle of Karaki.
Yes. I heard about that. I think the evokers are having a think on how best to dissipate that.
We know how to do it. It's a very simple get to the core of it and cast Dispel Magic. It's very simple.
But how do you cast Dispel Magic in an anti-magic zone? Have you met Verixis yet? Over in Conjurer's Roost?
No, I've slowly been making my way through the
Try
area.
casting a spell in front of him and you'll see just how difficult it is.
I mean...
Oh, sorry, you're not a mage. I'm used to everyone here being mages. Sorry, that's on me. I made an assumption.
Well, thanks to, let's just say, an anonymous informant, we have discovered a way, and that's why we are here.
But why break in? Why not ask for an audience? Maybe the Chancellor would listen to you. Not that he's been out for weeks, but...
Okay, I'm going to say a couple things. I want you to promise me you will not out me and my friends, and you will not get mad.
I promise. I owe you that much.
We're here for the Wand of Creation.
The glass drops from her hand and shatters, and is just very swiftly brushed up by the unseen servant, who starts pouring another glass for her. You're after the Wand of Creation?
The way you can cast magic inside of a strong anti-magic field like that is to be in an area where the anti-magic field hasn't dissipated the mass it's enveloped.
Well, yes, I suppose
we're going to have basically you create a pocket of reality within it of some sort, and in that pocket magic is castable.
How did you know about the Wand of Creation? It's Cantlo's best secret.
This is the part where you're not allowed to get mad. We were told by a wizard who got stuck there when the anti-magic sphere was created.
Would have to be a pretty powerful wizard. I mean, only really the heads of the faculty know.
The name of this wizard, and what leads us to what will inevitably be phase 2 of this whole operation, is Manifrith Winifrith.
She holds a glass and drops the glass again.
You gotta stop doing that.
You mean Merifrith Winifrith?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. I always get his name messed up.
But he's in prison.
Well, in 400 years, right now he's currently making something for me, and he'll deliver it to the library for me in 400 years. Well, 400 years in the past, so I could collect it. Specifically this, and I hand her the brooch.
Okay, she takes a look at this. This is passable artifice. I could believe that Winifred made this, or possibly an artificer who's intimately familiar with his work. Interesting. Did you tell him your name?
I mean, I told him the name I currently go by.
Well, it has your initials on it.
Yeah, that's what worries me.
He never was much of a diviner. How did you know that?
Immediately, my thought, like my immediate thought from all that was, perhaps he is a Fey of some sort.
No nonsense. No, he's a man, human. I'd know.
Because of the blessing I carry around with me, Faye can only use my real name.
No, he's human. He's definitely human. I know. I locked him up myself.
And he's currently doing time and space. Well, he was taking a wild ride through time and space itself before he got trapped.
Be careful of Winifred. He was the Dean of Illusion. He can't be trusted.
We already know that after we're done with the Wand of Creation, we have to somehow, before he realizes what we're doing, get the wand to the Emerald Forest. It's one of the few places he has no power, no dominion. I
That
can't
makes
go into
sense.
details, but the queen does owe me a favor. I could ask her to keep a hold of it, keep it away from him.
That makes sense. Okay. I don't see how much. Frankly, I owe you. I failed you. I won't fail you this time. She says, "I'll."
The best you can do is stay quiet and stay out of it. The last thing I want is for you to get dragged into the inevitable mess me and my companions are going to make of this college in the next couple days.
Understood.
I don't know if you've heard much about the Guild of Icons, but we tend to cause a bit of chaos wherever we go.
I'll see what I can do to protect the students.
Not like mass murdering chaos, more like things are probably going to get strange.
Do you know about the locks?
Yes, that's currently what I'm working towards.
Do you know how to get into the mirror run?
We have an end to that, yes.
Good. Well, I designed one of them.
Really?
So perhaps I can be of some help. Yes,
How would one open it?
the crystal lock is opened through... Well, you when the resident of the crystal lock talks to you, speak truthfully and speak honestly. I don't know what he'll ask you. He's his own mind. But speak truthfully and honestly. Don't try to deceive him.
I could probably do that.
None of you try to deceive him.
I'll make sure the others can do that.
Good. I don't know if you've ever seen a crystal dragon before, but they are not to be messed with. Do not trifle with them.
I'm sorry, a crystal what?
Dragon.
I didn't know they came in crystal.
Something we've been working on. And she beckons you to follow her, and she heads out of the room. Says, save me the rest of the wine, will you, servant? You don't hear anything back. But she turns down, left, right, left, right, down a set of stairs. This time not the big ones at the front, but it's a long set of staircases. It almost feels like it's going on endlessly. But eventually you get to the bottom, and then you turn, you look back, and it's only 10 feet. And you get the feeling, though, if you were to backwards long jump up it, you'd probably get up there really quickly and not have to, do the whole castle. But you go down, and she takes you up to this door. It's pretty mundane looking door, like it's just flat panelled wood. But she opens it, and inside you see rows and rows and rows of cages filled with, each one with a dragon in it that is made of crystal. They look like diamonds, and in the light, in the room, these floating orbs of light that you know of as drift globes that are floating over them, they are iridescent and they are sparkling. She said, these are my project, Crystal Dragon Wormlings. They're in a cage at the moment, but that's just while we check them for health. They're a little bit dangerous at their current age, but when they get a little bit older, we'll talk to them, we'll let them know what's going on, and they're free to do whatever they want.
This is amazing.
One of them looks at you and snorts, and a little, it's almost like a fine powder comes out of its nose, and you hear in your head it asks you a question. Salius Monvale, what are you doing down here? You're 2 days early.
Is this a voice I recognize?
No.
I've never been one for being punctual.
Well, that's even more unusual. You're definitely early. And it breathes a little bit again. And this time you realise it's not actually a powder. It's a beam of light coming out of its mouth. And it just says, well, time is strange down here. Perhaps that's just it. Do let them know, though, will you, to change the fee that's going on here. It's terrible. For some reason, they think we eat diamonds. Nothing of the sort. I'm starving. I want some meat.
I mean, most dragons eat gems.
I would like some meat.
Yeah, no, I'll let them know.
And you hear Eleanor just say, "Look, we heard you, Zavastros. We heard you. You said it out loud, okay?" Like he started off telepathically, and that last bit, he'd like, "We want some meat." And he's like, "We heard you, but it's not in your diet, all right? You can have meat when you're old enough." It's like, "But mother, I would like meat." Like, look, when you're old enough, get me out of this cage. It's most undignified. Look, the other interns don't trust you yet until you're old. It is undignified, mother. And I know. Look, I know. Look, when you're older.
I'm sorry. Did this one say mother?
Well, they call me that because I created them. You know, it is.
I kneel next to the cage. I put my arms on it. Does that make us siblings?
Oh, are you a crystal dragonborn as well?
No, but...
Well, not as well. Are you a crystal dragonborn, more accurately?
No, not at all.
Are you maybe... are you one of the first crystal dragons? I would love to be able to take on a human form. I haven't mastered polymorph yet. Mother says I'll get it eventually.
No, she... What was her name again? I'm sorry.
Eleanor Silverstride.
No, Eleanor here is my godmother.
Oh!
That...
You're religious.
No.
Mother, what is she talking about? Like, I'll explain godmothers later. It's not come up in the curriculum yet. Don't worry. Like, Mother, honestly, all you've been doing is trying to teach us spellcasting. I want to know about the world. And I want meat. And some of the other dragons are starting to go, meat? Are we having meat tonight? Is it finally time? And then, they're all perking. I was like, no, settle down. You'll have meat when you're old enough, when your stomachs can handle it. Right now, just gems, okay? I'm like, oh, I want meat.
This is amazing.
They look at you. It's been nice to meet you, though. Ellen's like, we'd better go. They'll talk your heads off.
Yeah, and who knows? Perhaps you will be right, and we'll see each other in a couple days.
Perhaps you are simply early or late. But we will see you soon. That will definitely happen. I'm certain of it. There will come a time soon enough when something bad happens. I have that feeling. But we'll all be free.
Ominous.
Yeah. I don't know anything more, though. Maybe we'll taste meat then. And Eleanor takes a deep breath and is like, oh, didn't mean person meat. Don't worry. Don't worry. I love people. But not for dinner. Not for dinner. Sorry. I'm not very good at talking yet. I'm only 3 years old.
You'll get there. Don't worry.
I'm sure I will. And then I'll get meat. I hear cow is nice.
I'm more of a chicken person.
You don't look like one.
Figure of speech.
Oh, okay. We'll learn about figures of speech eventually as well, I imagine. Oh, Google, go away. We'll learn about figures of speech eventually, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe we'll have meat then. Like, you're not getting meat until your stomachs can handle it. And I was like, please, we've got to go. They'll just get on one track and their education will be ruined for the day. But yes, the crystal lock. One of those, much older.
Yeah.
Sadly, even more talkative. But be honest. Be honest with him.
It has been nice catching up / meeting you.
It's been good to see you again, Salis. Yes. Let me escort you to the door. If there's anything else I can help you with, you just ask, okay? I'll do what I can.
Don't worry, there's no need to escort me. I may not be a powerful mage, but in one way I did take after my father. And I begin parkouring out towards the door, through the mess of this building.
Okay, sure, yeah. So you just keep going around left, right, up, down, up, down, and eventually you do make it out for probably a process of trial and error, because it appears that the route back isn't exactly matching up with the route there. But yeah, you make it back and you make it to the doorway and you're out and you're in front of that shed again at the School of Transmutation. I'm looking at the time, and it's actually 5 minutes past 9, which is probably a good place for a break. Should we take a break now and come back in about 15 minutes at about 20 past 9?
That sounds good.
All right, I will go to the break screen. As usual, your microphone will be on, but your camera won't be visible. Boom, we're on the break screen, and yeah, I'll see you all soon. Well, I'll stick around for a little bit and chat with people in chat for a little bit before I go to the toilet. How we doing, chat? How we doing? Did everyone like the Crystal Dragonborns? Not Dragonborn. I don't know why I keep saying Dragonborns. They're not. They're Wormlings. I like them. They're very talkative. That's one of the nice things about some of them. There are others that are more talkative than... There are actually metallic Dragonborns. Not Dragonborns. Metallic dragons that are more talkative than that. But they are quite social. And they have a bit of mischief about them, which is quite nice. The Mario reference was top tier. Yeah, it's a shame we don't have clips, otherwise I'll just send that over to Goggles. But yeah, they're an interesting one, and there is one of those as one of the locks.
Yes, it has finally been revealed. I am in fact a FEY.
Yeah. Yes, Aao lore. It's been there since the start, and occasionally I've been putting some cases where it might get revealed, but I think most of the time you were sort of driving for that. But it was mainly because for most of the people's backstory stuff, I kind of wanted to wait until you were a high enough level to deal with the backstory stuff before I did it. Because if you're like level 2, it's like, well, what can I throw at you to symbolize anything from your backstory? It's fuck all in the monster manual. But now... now it's the fun end. Oh, thank you, Emphas.
But don't worry. But wait, there's more when it comes to Aao lore.
Oh yes, there's plenty. There is plenty. This entire time she's been feigning ignorance. God damn it.
Okay. Ban Pixel from the chat.
We can't ban Pixel. They're about to be one of the characters. Keith says, give my character a Crystal Dragon Wormling pet. No, Keith, that's extremely bad. They are sapient creatures. They are sentient and sapient. They are...
Also, you know that gem dragons are... they are the most powerful of the types of dragons.
A Crystal Dragon Wormling's intelligence is 14. They're more intelligent than an average human.
Like, I believe most, when it comes to most of the gem dragons, their young adult forms are more powerful than the ancient forms of the chromatic or metallic dragons.
Let's have a look.
Like,
Young
they are
crystal.
Like, from what I remember, they are stupidly powerful.
Challenge 5 for a young crystal dragon, although this is from Fizzbands, which might have made them a lot weaker to fit in with all the others. They're more intelligent than grounded.
It's 5 for the young adult dragon?
Oh, that's young crystal. That's not young adult. Sorry, hang on. Adult crystal. That's 12 or 13 if it's in a lair. And then ancient crystal dragons are going to be pretty ridiculous. Yeah, 19 or 20.
I do know one of the only CR50 creatures that has ever been released for D&D was one of the gem dragons.
I quite like that their breath is literally just, it's light.
Not the most ridiculous breath weapon I've seen.
Wasn't there one that was a lozenge?
No, there's the Adamantine Dragon, which is the metallic version of the purple dragon, both of which are residents of the place the Dark Elves are from. I forget what it's called.
Underdark?
Yeah, the Underdark. The Adamantine Dragon's breath weapon is Stop Time.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
It breathes the physical embodiment of stopped time.
I'm just looking up, the Amethyst Dragon's one is a singularity, which is neat. A 90-foot cone of singularity energy.
Yeah, some of the more obscure, like some of the rarer dragons have some of the most ridiculous breath weapons.
I will say it's not actually a crystal dragon in the crystal lock. It started that way, but it's not a crystal anymore. But yeah, that was quite fun. I enjoyed that bit. Lore dump. I also, of course, enjoyed the School of Evocation. Good old Giuseppe the Toasted.
You know, one thing I actually cannot wait for is actually how you end up handling the FEY of the Emerald Forest.
Yeah, because like I'm gonna do some prep on that.
when I initially wrote the Emerald Forest stuff, the way Eao was describing the FEY of the forest is generally what I had in mind. But at the same time, the way she sees them could also be correct. I can't wait to see how you do that.
I'm kind of running on an idea that her knowledge of any of it is extremely old, and is coloured by her, not prejudice, but her experience with FEY in general, where she's grown now not to trust any FEY because of her treatment. And in fairness, a lot of FEY are tricksy, and she's kind of forgotten that maybe the Emerald Forest wasn't like that.
At the same time, it could very much end up being, Eao was a child and couldn't see what was really happening. That's also a possibility.
True. Yeah, that's true. Right, I am going to go quickly pop to the loo and all that. I will be back in a sec.
Disgusting.
Yes, your DM poops. Obviously, I'm not going pooping, otherwise it'll be more than 15 minutes, I'll tell you that.
The only sad part about all of this, chat, is that now, as of this moment, I can no longer make the Eao is actually an illithid joke that I make at every opportunity I get. Yes, Grounded can read minds, and she has read my mind and did not dig for any of the lore information the one time you did it. I was excited and you gave me nothing. It was so close. To be fair, I said I had respect for small winged creatures. I was talking about fairies. Yep. I'm confident that we have crystal and probably gem down. Because, we have our local rock expert. Bard, I'll probably get an opportunity to speak with Bards later once one of our side adventures we're doing here goes down. The one with Grounded. So it comes down to the god and the Yeah, but once we know how to deal with the locks, then we just have to brute force our way through there. And then find a way to get out.
Oh, hello stream. I was muted for all that, wasn't I? You didn't need to know that.
To be fair, when it comes to getting out, I think I already have a good lead of some sort.
Okay. What's the theory?
Well, there is a large, very not safe, basically magical combustion engine firing massive amounts of fire.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I could blow a hole out of here.
That might work.
Or at the very least, create a large enough distraction to where we're not the problem anymore.
Yeah? It would certainly make a distraction. As for whether it would get you out of Cantlore, well, you can certainly try. I can't say either way.
At this point, I'm just spitballing ideas.
Yeah. There are ways out for sure. You might be able to get out via the mirror run. It is a transportation network as well. Or you can always go through the portalarium again.
Even better, though, there's an entrance to the library here.
There is, yep. That's also a potential way out.
The only downside is we have an entire, boat crew we'd have to get out as well.
That might be trickier, getting an entire boat through the library.
We don't gotta get the boat.
Well, the boat's gone, yeah. Boat's been destroyed. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yep.
Where would the artificers be on this map?
They aren't located in any one particular place. They kind of tend to be... Well, they live in the stacks, but they're kind of just brought into whichever department needs something fixed or built.
Ah, so they don't have like a centralized broom closet or anything?
No, they just sort of turn up. They're mostly treated as dog's bodies because unless they are a 17th level artificer or higher, they can't cast 5th level spells. Which means even the first year students are more powerful mages.
Which is absolutely a funny thing for them to say right before they get, a cannon to the face.
there is that. There is that. But the 5th level wizards, they can do a hell of a shield.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's there's a couple about. I mean, you know of one called Gargoyle, who
apparently I just gotta wait for him to find me.
Yeah. Oh, you find him eventually. Also, speaking of progress, like as the main group, you've also gained 2 allies now. So you've got the brass cannons, who will assist you with things, and you now have the head of the School of Transmutation. So that's two allies. Well, plus you've also got Petra. Petra's happy to help, although she is a little more scared of ruffling feathers than everyone else. And I suppose also Boglin's out there.
Good old Boglin.
I'm going to say, given Boglin is one of Leggy's characters, that's probably the last we'll ever see of him, unless Rosad dies. But yeah. Again, I mean, that is definitely the most Rosad way of getting rid of exhaustion. Die and be resurrected.
I mean, if it works, it works.
It worked, yeah. Oh, I was laughing with Pixel today because we were rolling because Pixel's character hasn't met Merifrith, isn't going to get a custom Merifrith item. We've been rolling off of the magic item tables for what you might start with, and I basically did, the process we went through for downtime when you got your bag of holding. I basically went through that.
Yeah.
And I said, you've got this amount of money, pick a rarity, and we'll roll on it, right? And one of the items rolled is actually one I remember rolling for you, and I looked up the rules for it. It's Keotome's ointment, and I forgot. It comes with like 1d4 charges or something, but each charge entirely cures disease in someone. Like, wow, that would have been useful. But yeah, Pixel accidentally rolled so well that they made a profit out of it.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
Yeah, if I'm right, that makes them the second richest member of the guild.
Yeah, and the magic item they got is really cool. It's one of my favorite magical items. It's not overpowered, it's just extremely funny.
Yeah. Admittedly, that is probably because on top of my basically 1,300 gold, I also have another 5,000 in the guild finances.
That's true. That is true. When you get back, we'll have to do some more rolls on seeing how the business is doing.
Oh yeah.
But we'll deal with those when we get back. When it comes to the next downtime, I think.
I mean, I'm sure it's doing well. I left my best person in charge.
It's probably on fire. It's probably been burnt to the ground by now.
I mean, either it has, or every politician in the city has.
Yeah. She is a bit of a firebrand. But firebrands are useful. For one glorious moment, you were carrying more money than Aao. Yeah, it was genuinely ridiculous. I was laughing, just cackling to myself as I was rolling the amount of money that came with that magical item. I was like, really? It cost 600 gold pieces and you got like 4,000 back. Like, come on. To be fair, the DM finds it funny as a type of OP. Most OP item is the Cloak of Billowing, for sure. Or cast off armor.
I'll have you know the most overpowered item is the Hat of Holding.
I do like the Hat of Holding.
It is a 15-pound hat.
You've yet to put a rabbit in there, and I'm very disappointed in that. You've got to pull a rabbit out of the hat eventually. It's got to happen.
I mean, to be fair, I finally got rid of all that silver. So
True.
I have a lot of space in it now.
All right, let's go back to it. If I press the right button. Wow, I've messed something up in the interim. Hold on. There we go. I think I must have moved the Discord window because it was just like covering half of me as well. Yeah, so you step outside of the School of Transmutation. It's probably about lunchtime now. It's probably about 1 o'clock time-wise. So
I probably have enough time to stop by one more area before the lecture.
Yeah, before the lecture, probably one more area, yeah. Where would you like to go?
Honestly, I want to see what's happening in the School of Illusion.
The School of Illusion! Okay, let me load that one up. I was desperately hoping you'd go to Conjurer's Roost just because I really want to throw a beholder at you. But, yep, okay, so you walk through the Flux Quadrangle. And again, that energy is whirling everywhere. It's quite nightmarish, really. But you're safe on the path, and you enter this shared door that has both illusion and abjuration, like on one side or the other. And you enter this shared corridor, and there's doors off to the left and right. And you walk into the School of Illusion, and you open this door, and inside you're in this tiny sort of mud hut with grasses and sticks and twigs around you. And there's no one there. It's about 10 feet by 10 feet.
Mm.
Oh, actually, one other thing. Your passive perception is 11, right? Your
Yes.
stealth score was 18. I just need to compare that. Yeah, okay. As you're heading into the doors, you see there's a shadow over you. And just as you look up, you see like the corner, the last tattered fragment of a cloak disappearing over the rooftop.
Over which rooftop?
The rooftop above the School of Abjuration and Illusion.
How high is the building?
It's about 50 feet high. Looks to be about 4 floors. But quite sort of old style building where the floors are quite high up.
Is there an obvious way up that I can see?
There's a couple of drain pipes that could get you up there. There's no like ladder or staircase or anything like that, but there's a couple of drain pipes.
I'm more like talking about like is the architecture like climbable?
Oh yeah. There's quite a lot of handholds in the brickwork that you could use to get up there.
Cool. I'm going to make my way to whichever drain pipe is has the least in view.
Okay.
And I'm climbing up.
Okay, so you're chasing after. Roll me an athletics check. This isn't a case of whether you fall. You're going to be fine getting up there. It's more of a how quickly you get to the top, and how much you see, basically.
Athletics, you said?
Yes.
That is a 14.
14. Okay, you make it up. You're huffing and puffing. You're not going great guns up there, but yeah, you make it up soon enough. And you get to the top, and there's this. It's almost like a forest of chimneys all over the place. And and they're all like bellowing smoke up there. It looks like sort of like old pictures of like Victorian England up here, like just dotted all over the place. A lot of places you could possibly hide behind. I'm going to roll a stealth check for.
I understand what it looks like. I've seen Mary Poppins.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Mary Poppins, and there's a Cockney up there. Interesting. Okay. And I just need to look up the stat block for the thing. I can't do that because it's on Discord. Never mind. I will make it up in my head. So, yeah. If you would like to look around, make me a perception check to see if you can spot any clues. I've just realised I should be rolling with advantage. There we go.
A what check?
A perception check.
That is a 13 plus numbers. Perception 14 again.
Okay, so that. Right. I just need to double check something before I go any further. So I'm pretty sure. Actually, it's going to be easier this way. Pixel, in the chat, can you put your stealth modifiers? I just need to know for some reason. It's not necessarily Pixel's character, but it's something built very similarly. Yeah. There we go. Okay. What you do see is on the ground, you see a little patch of oil, and it's heading to the southeast across the rooftops. Just this little splatter of oil.
I'm going to follow it.
Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to treat this as a skill challenge. Basically, I'm going to tell you this now. Mechanically, you won't succeed. But your successes will give you more clues about the thing chasing you. Because, thank you, Pixel, for saying it's a +5 to stealth, so it was definitely, like, he's gone. But you will learn clues to track down the thing that has been spotting you by spotting more things as you investigate. So it's an investigative skill challenge. So first off, you reach the end of the oil, and it's an empty patch. Now you scry around with your eyes, not with scrying, and there's really 3 possible options. Kana doubled back. You'd have spotted him. Could have kept going. Or could have tried ducking behind some of these chimneys, basically. How would you like to determine which way to go? What skills or abilities would you like to use to continue tracking down? You can just say, I would like to roll something, and explain how you'd like to do that. Or you can use if you use an ability that has a cost, like if you were a spellcaster or a spell, but if it's something that you can do once a day or something like that, that's an auto success. If you use a skill, it's a skill check, and we'll count that as either a success or failure.
I think the best thing I have for this situation would probably be following the general direction the trail is going in. But
okay.
I move off a bit to the side, and I look in there, so as I'm passing by the chimneys along the trail, I can see behind each of them.
Okay, so that sounds like you're using perception this time.
Yes.
So roll me perception, we'll see if that's our first success.
It's not.
Okay.
That's a 2+1.
2+1. Oh no. Okay, well it could have gone anyway. So that's one failure. As you're scanning around, though, you're looking around and you can't see anything, and you stop for a second to sort of reassess the situation. And you look up, and actually there is a figure flying away. appears to have wings. It's sort of silhouetted against the bright sky, so you can't really see too much more about it, especially not with your perception roll. But it's flying away. How would you like to try and catch up to it, or if you would like to try and catch up to it?
What direction is it flying towards?
So it's flying directly away from you, so this is to the southeast again, so it's kind of going off the edge of the cliff. It's not off the edge of the cliff yet, but it's sort of heading towards it.
Honestly, I doubt I could catch something that's flying, so I'll probably give it up there.
Okay, fair enough. And the last bit that happens on the skill check, so you stop, you regain your breath, and you start to watch it disappear. A crackling bolt of lightning comes from the shield on the side of... So, because you're near the cliffs have this shield all around them that you can sort of see shimmering at all times. It kind of looks like it's made of distinct plates. And strikes at the bird. Or whatever it is. It's got wings anyway. And it tumbles to the ground and lands on the roof. And appears to be sort of sliding down the roofs to this little V in the roofs where it stops there. And disappears from your line of sight.
Well, I don't want to have to deal with the corpse to that's not my problem anymore.
Okay. You pop straight back down. Make a note.
I'm sorry, Pixel Nick killed you character.
No. Not someone wearing that much metal. They'll be fine.
Wouldn't the metal make the fall damage worse?
You'd think that, but it's artificers for you, so... okay. Yeah, you just go, fuck that shit. I'm out of here. Climb back down the building?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool. So you head straight back down, and you think you're probably safe from whatever that shadowy figure was for a bit. It appears to have had a pretty rough time of it there. And yeah, we go back to the normal music, and you enter the School of Illusion, which, as I said, I'm skipping that bit of music. I'm going to the next one. There we go. You go in, and it's a mud hut. It's strange, like there was a wood door, but this side of it's reeds. And it's a mud hut, and there's no one in it. There's a fire in the center. It's about 10 feet by 10 feet. It's warm. It's quite stifling in there. It smells slightly of singed grass. And there's also like wood smoke in the air as well. But no one around.
What I want to try to do, Eao is going to snap and see if the snap echoes at all.
I like it. So you do that, and there is an echo, and it's the echo of sound coming back from you from stone. Like you've heard this in sewers and in dungeons and that sort of thing. You're in a much larger room than you appear to be, and it's certainly not that sort of soft sound that you get when something's coming off mud, because mud is a soft thing. It absorbs a lot of the sound. It deepens it a little. You know all of this from when you've been you've broken into pretty much any kind of building before. You know what it sounds like as you're stepping through, trying to be as quiet as possible. Yeah, this room is large and probably made of stone. It is not made of mud.
Well then, I suppose the first thing I'll do is I'll walk towards the back wall.
Mm-hmm.
Put my hand up in front of me, just in case, and just try to walk through it.
Okay, you walk straight through it. It sort of fizzles around you as you walk through. And on the opposite side, you can see a tall, well-groomed orc. You know, like he looks like every hair is exactly in the right place. Like he spent probably an hour in front of the mirror this morning holding a clipboard and you go, oh. Mate. This is a live experiment, come on. You go, cut me some slack. What are you doing? Just trampling through the experiment. You're wasting so much money right now. Please. Can you just go back? We're busy here.
I pull out my clipboard. Yeah, about the... I'll go back once you do the safety survey.
It's all illusions. No one gets hurt. Get out of here. Get out of here. We're trying to get this thing perfect.
I mean, if you want to get it perfect, you gotta do something about the sound. Like, immediately, I could tell things were wrong.
Sound? It sounds fine. The fire crackles and everything.
I lift my hand and I snap. You hear that?
Well,
that's small buildings. Small buildings like that with mud floors. They don't echo when you snap.
He's like, it makes a note. And it's like there's always something you forget, isn't there? All right. Who are you? You intern illusionist?
Oh, my name is Vera. I'm here. I'm just doing a safety survey. Apparently, some people have been calling for new safety standards around the college. I'm just here doing a survey, and for all the departments.
I don't have time. Can I just pass you on to someone else?
Of course.
Okay, cool. And he snaps his finger and it's like, Jenkins, out of here, and deal with this, will you? And
there's that echo again.
He's like, don't you start. And a goblin comes bounding out, really, really quickly, carrying a lot of things. Like, all right, I've got. No, I've not got the pearls. Hang on, I'll be right now. It's like, no, Jenkins, just. I just need you to talk to this person. Just leave that stuff there. We'll deal with that in a minute, alright? Just talk to Vera, was it? Vera? Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to Vera, and Jenkins comes in. Alright. And starts unloading, so much stuff. And oh, my back! Stands up straight and is now probably a good 4 feet tall. And not hunched over carrying boxes and boxes of supplies. What do you need?
As I explained before, I was rudely shifted off to someone else. There's been some safety concerns brought up by quite a few of the students in the college. A lot of them don't like dying in experiments or getting injured, So I was brought in to just do a simple safety survey.
What's that got to do with us? It's all fake here.
In a couple weeks or so, there'll be some sort of big meeting where it'll officially be discussed. I'm just collecting information.
Well, here's the information. It's all fake. No one dies here.
It's just the 3 simple questions.
Well, apart from Bob, who fell down the fake stairs, but that's his fault.
I scribbled that down.
He day drinks, or did. Oof. He really did scream. He did, but everyone else is fine because we don't day drink.
I scribbled that down.
Couldn't get it past me. Okay. I
Okay.
can smell drink on people's breath. And he goes, you've been day drinking.
I may have had a wine or two.
It's not healthy. You don't want to go out like Bob.
I'm not even buzzed. It's fine.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy. He hands you a little card, and it's the Cantlaw Alcoholics Anonymous.
You can't even get a casual drink with friends these days. So, first question. What is the purpose of your experiment and or field of study?
Which experiment? We do loads of them.
I suppose I'm just ringing off the question. What's the big one you're doing?
All right, well, that one over there, and he points at the hut. Layman's shitty hut, right? It's a work in progress. The idea is we make it look bad, you know? It's unappetizing. You go in, you see it's just a shitty hut, right? You're not going to look any further, but behind it there's, you know, treasure. You hide your stuff behind that. It's simple. It's a beautiful illusion. It's based on Major Image, but we're trying to simplify it, you know, so you can keep it going longer, because Major Image, obviously, it sticks around, but it disappears, you know. We want something that, you know, you cast it and it stays there forever, like, you can just keep going through it. So yeah, Layman's shitty hut. We don't even have a layman here, we just thought it was funny, you know. That was Bob's idea, good old Bob. He was a riot when he was day drinking. But then he died, didn't he? And you know why? The devil drink.
When did Bob die?
4 weeks ago.
He should have been back in by now. Generally, the resurrection services are quicker than that.
They only resurrect you if you're important.
I write that down.
You think they're going to bring back a day drinker? A devil drink addict? No. No. You gotta be... You gotta be tenured. You gotta be like... Rakru's over there. He's tenured. He falls down a imaginary staircase. He'll be back in 5 days. Of course. Exception for the clerics, of course. They don't have to be tenured if you're a cleric. You'll just come back anyway.
Don't tell anyone I said this. I don't think that's the case. I think they just don't care about the people here in the illusion school. I was at the evocation, the school of evocation earlier. Apparently, quite a few of the people there, they die all the time. They had 25 deaths in the last month. All the people are still there. All of them.
Those motherfuckers. And he just sort of drops everything and turns around and just walks straight out, muttering, "Motherfuckers, I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them. They'll have to resurrect this." And Recruz says, "Where are you going?" And like,
while Recruz is doing that, I'm taking a very brief glimpse at what was dropped.
So it's several crates and a couple of sacks, and one of them is full of pearls of various sizes. Another has got chalks in it and paints, a couple of vials of blood. Another one has some dirt in it, not in little pouches, and
I've
kind
heard,
of sparkles.
I've heard everything I need to heard. While the other guy's wondering why that other guy's walking off, I'm in a very quick motion, just dropping my hat on the pearl bag and just putting it back. Just like.
Okay, for that, I'm going to need a stealth check.
Hand?
Oh no, yeah, let's do sleight of hand. No, that tracks. Let's do sleight of hand. And that's going to be contested by the perception of a master illusionist. So risky is what I'm trying to say, but possible for sure. Here we go.
That is a 24.
That's good, because I rolled a 21. Oh, very nice.
Oh, thank God for that +8.
Yeah. Very nicely done. I'm just going to make a note of that. Stole the pearls. Very good.
And then as I put it back on, I go, I still have 2 more questions.
And Recruz just goes, what can I help you with? I've got to set up this whole thing again. Just, I tell you what, you help me out with this. Just put the candles. I need them counterclockwise. And he looks at it again. No, counterclockwise.
The candles in a circle. Does the order matter?
Yeah, you start with the big one, and then they'll get smaller and smaller as they go around.
Okay.
The really dribbly one. Yeah, yeah. And then you got to light them in that order as well, alright? Meanwhile, I'll set up the pearls. Did you see where the pearls... Oh, he said he forgot the pearls, didn't he? Yeah, I'll go get those.
As I'm doing this, I should probably get to my second question. He has already answered the first one. Have there been any accidents in the past month or so? And if so, how many?
No accidents.
Related to the work you're doing, or just general accidents that have happened in this building?
Nah, none. No accidents.
No injuries? No one like tripped over something by mistake?
No.
And hurt themselves?
Nothing. Okay. I run a tight shop here.
I respect it.
Yeah.
And final question: assuming that any sort of structural changes will be happening, what would you like to see be changed?
Well, I'd like a bigger budget.
That's what everyone who isn't that one guy in evocation says. What am I talking about? He says that too. He apparently wants more dragons.
More dragons? He's getting one dragon? I can't even afford more than a box of pearls. I better go find those, actually. And he turns off. Was there any other questions? I'll get the pearls. Light the candles.
No, it was it. I'll just light the candles.
Counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise.
Okay, he disappears off down a corridor and is like, pearls, pearls, pearls. They should be in storage. And he opens it and starts rifling.
I let them clockwise and I leave.
Yep. Okay. As you leave, you can just hear like echoing through the hallway. Where the hell are those pearls? God damn it! Useless goblin. But yeah. Yeah. You've probably, as Pixel says, ruined the entire illusion curriculum for the semester.
I have also slowly been creating dissent between the further dissent.
Oh yes, absolutely. That might go to war.
I think it is actually about time for a lecture.
Oh yes, it is. So you step outside and you can hear this faint explosion sound coming from the School of Evocation. But you don't care, you're heading towards the Spell Hall, which is just north of here. And you slip in pretty early, so the lecture hasn't started yet. You've probably got about 10-15 minutes, but people are sort of milling in, taking seats. The lecturer's up at the front, and is setting up a couple of books for reference on a lectern, getting ready to talk. Is probably fiddling, trying to connect his wand to the local Wi-Fi system and everything. So yeah, you've probably got about 10 minutes just to settle down, I guess, or do anything else you want to do before the lecture starts.
I see a very specific tiefling by the name of Grounded sitting further up. I grab some extra paper I've been carrying around. I start ripping them and throwing them in tiny balls and into the back of their head.
Okay. That will continue all the way through, and the lecture will begin. And the lecture is about planar travel, and particularly the outer planes. But there is some touching on all of the planes, really. Some mention of the Feywild, the Shadowfell, the material plane, the ethereal, the negative energy plane, the positive energy plane, even some mention of the Far Realms, which are quite unusual indeed. They're not really a plane so much as the outermost reaches of reality, where everything starts to break down and where the beholders come from. And yeah, just sort of a brief discussion about what's there and what denizens live in the various ones. And about halfway through the lecture, actually, you see a shape sidle along in the chair and sit next to you. Sorry, not next to you, actually. It would be probably two rows behind. Oh no, you're right at the back. You're right at the back, so it wouldn't be behind you. It would be along the same row. Probably 2 or 3 seats off, not directly next to you. And it's sort of a I don't want to fully describe the character because I'm not gonna lie, it's Pixel's character, and I don't know what Pixel's character looks like. But what you can see is a vague shape, looking quite sort of large, and there's a lot of feathers going on. I say large, but probably the size is probably from the fluff of the feathers, and you know, a fair sort of cloak over them, and that sort of thing at the moment. And you recognise that the cloak is made of the same fabric that was torn on the top of the roof, and whoever it is sits and just stares straight ahead and watches the lecture.
Mm. Do I smell burned feathers at all?
Yes. There's a singeing sort of feathery smell. An occasional sort of sniff as as they sort of wince in pain.
I mean, if they have something to say, they can approach me whenever. I'm going to continue with the lecture. I'm here for a reason, after all.
They say nothing at all. And yeah, the lecture continues. It's about all the various planes. And towards the end, there's a bit more of talk about travel between the planes, how that's handled, safety, operations that you might want to do, and particularly a mention of how deadly the astral plane is, and that if you were to ever dream your way into the astral plane, it is always best to take precautions and try and protect the strand of consciousness that emanates out of you, because many things that live there will cut it the moment they see you. Including, you know, the Githyanki, the Githzerai, but also things that can't be bargained with. And you remember that first Baboonmas night and the great astral dreadnought bearing down on you. And probably it's not probably a little bit of a flashback, but you remember the Gith as well. The Githyanki were there as well.
They were.
And so that it reminds you strongly of that. So you have a feeling you probably know a little bit more about it than the lecturer does.
I still, at one point or another, have to fight Count Gothgar, was his name?
Goat guy, yeah.
Goatgar. I still gotta fight him.
You can try. You can try, definitely. At demigod status in this world, not in the world my character Goatgar comes from, which is distinct and not anywhere near as powerful as the spirit of Baboonmas. But yeah, you could definitely try, and eventually you'll probably be powerful enough to win.
I'm sorry, but Baboonmas will be destroyed by Eao's hands.
You just need to learn the spirit of Baboonmas, which is baboons.
Yeah. Well, after watching this lecture and watching some weird person up front talk about hags for some reason for a long time, once the lecture ends, I'm actually going to try to talk with the lecturer.
Okay. So after Grounded disappears with some information on hags, you head on up, and yeah, the lecturer says, "Oh, can I help you at all?"
Yes, I was actually wondering a bit about something you mentioned. You were talking about like various demiplanes when concerning with the Feywilds, and you mentioned something called the Emerald Forest. What is that?
Oh, right. Well, it's an interesting one. It's a sort of pocket of Feywild that has become detached. Similar to how... Are you familiar with how twins form? You start with one life and it splits into two and then grows. This is rather similar. You have Feywild and you have the Emerald Forest, and they are of the same essence, but realistically have developed separately and have different rules. But fundamentally operate in the same way. But the Emerald Forest is... and here... Would you need insight for that? I don't think you would. You start to realise he doesn't actually know 100% of what he's talking about. Probably he's read some things in books about the Emerald Forest and he's relaying those, but those books might have been written by this universe's equivalent of Volo and are therefore not 100% reliable. So the Emerald Forest, the trees are all made of stone. They are made of emeralds. That's where the name comes from. So the Feywild is very, very nature, but the Emerald Forest is sort of the Feywild of dwarves. You know, it's gems, it's rocks, and that sort of thing. It's meant to be a very beautiful place. I've not had the liberty to go. I tend to take precautions and never go to the Feywild or the Emerald forest, of course, because they are one and alike in ways and are different in others. But very beautiful. Very valuable if you take a pickaxe to them, but you must be very, very careful. There is a dark and evil queen who rules over the land with an iron fist, and she's not to be trifled with. Some say she may be related to the Queen of Crows, who is the Mad Queen of the Underdark. And
Eao's just taking notes.
Yeah. So yes, what did you specifically want to know about the Emerald Forest? It's a fascinating subject. I've read a lot of books on it.
Oh, I was just curious because I had never heard about it.
Oh,
I was and you're obviously an expert on other dimensions. I'm sure you've been to a bunch of them by now.
Oh well, yes. I holiday sometimes in. And he casts around for fun. He's like, in Carcerai sometimes. It's rather lovely there. I don't know if you know Carcerai at all.
I can't say I've heard of it, no.
Tell you what, give me an Arcana check. Let's see if you have. I think Arcana more so than history.
Arcana is one of the things I'm good at.
That's why I thought you might know.
That is a 17 plus 8, so that is a 25?
25. With a 25, you know that Carcerai is probably not a place you holiday to because it is the plane of prisons. It is layers of prisons in which, gods are kept prison. And the outer layer, it's kind of like... it's kind of like... planets within planets. So as you go through each layer, you get to a different sphere of it that are all in a necklace almost of planets. So the outer layer is reasonably pleasant, but as you go inside, it gets colder and colder and colder and more inhospitable. But it's not a place you'd want to go on holiday because it's very hard to get out. It's also very hard to get to. You can probably get there from maybe Bitopia, maybe Isgard, maybe... you could certainly get there from Sigil, but... it's very hard to get to Carcerai. You also know there is... actually, you wouldn't know that. That would be something Warlocks only would know, probably. Which is the spell, the Chains of Carcerai. Actually, I think it's a Warlock infusion, which is specifically why Warlocks would know it. But yeah, you know that that's definitely not a place you'd go on holiday to. It'd be like saying, I holidayed in the Abyss, or I holidayed in the Hells.
As one does.
Well, maybe a tiefling might, but not a human lecturer. Not so maybe grounded would holiday in the Hells. Certainly not in the Abyss because that's where the gnolls keep going. But
grounded just finds the tallest rock in the Hells.
Yeah, that's not going to be. It's not going to be very hospitable, even to a fey human as yourself. It's not a great place, and it's like, oh yeah, but Carcerai, and I've visited Bitopia. It's very unusual.
Well, I thank you for your time. It's always nice to get more knowledge about places.
Oh, absolutely. If you wish, I recommend take a visit to Conjurer's Roost. They can open a portal to any of the planes, really.
Oh, that actually brings up that's honestly a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
What you've inspired me, Professor. What? How about this? One of these days, me and you, we could go to like, what's somewhere I haven't been. We could go to the Plains of Pandemonium. I hear it's really cool.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Oh, yes, Pandemonium is lovely. I've been there 3 times myself. It's simply wonderful. The sun sets in Pandemonium, because there's 25 suns, and they are each a different colour, and they set in a sort of staggered set, so that the world is lit up in every rainbow of colour. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And of course, the whole place smells of vanilla. Just superb. Yeah, we'll go to Pandemonium. Absolutely. We'll go up to Conjurer's Roost and we'll talk to Varixis and get them to open up a portal for us.
Yeah. And yeah, you know what? I'll set up those plans today, for sometime next week, and that way we have the time and the people reserved, so there's no reason we can't go.
Oh, that would be perfect. That'd be perfect. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll go and set that up for us.
Thank you. Thank you. You'd be like my research assistant. It'd be wonderful. And what was your name? Sorry. I feel I should know my research assistant's name.
Oh, you may call me Ceres.
Ceres. Lovely. Lovely. And he holds out a hand to shake yours.
I shake?
Absolutely not Faye, of course. And he's like, wonderful meeting you, Ceres. And yes, we'll go holidaying in Pandemonium. It'll be lovely. As you walk away, he returns to one of the books on the lectern and he starts flicking through it. And you just hear under your breath, "Oh God." He's gotten to the encyclopedia entry for Pandemonium and he's like, "Oh no." I actually can't remember what Pandemonium is like, but I know it's not too dissimilar from Limbo, which is entirely inhospitable.
If I'm remembering correctly, Pandemonium is basically like, imagine if you were in an endless cave system, except the entire cave system is constantly being hit by a sandblaster.
Oh wow, okay. That sounds crazy. Limbo, it's impossible to live in because it's the elemental plane of chaos, basically. It's full of a liquid that is kind of all elements searing over each other, and you touch it and you take 10d4 damage immediately touching it. You will just die. Yeah. But that's the lecture. You've got a little bit of time left after the lecture before the end of the day. I will tell you that currently Grounded has now gone to the Overlook Tavern, but you have the rest of the university.
I suppose I should probably take this moment to go to one of the other areas I know the lock is about.
Okay.
And I'll probably try the God Hall.
The God Hall, very nice. Okay, so the God Hall is this huge wooden. It's not like a church. It's kind of like like a Norse longhouse. So it looks like one of those, and it's got shields all along the outside, and each shield is a symbol of a different god. So you've got the alabaster mask for Morian, you've got a squiggle, 3 blue squiggles for Petrichor, which is of wind and water, and various others. You've got all the ones that you recognize from various churches before are on the side, and you step inside and it's quiet in here, and everyone's walking around in heavy white cloaks with hoods over them, and they're carrying various symbols in shapes important to whichever god they are for. This is a unilateral church where you can worship any god here. It's not specifically dedicated to one, but there is a dress code of just always dressing the same, just so that people can, I think to foster a sense of unity or something like that. But you walk in and you see this beautiful stone mural, and it's sort of raised up on this slab of stone that's being held from the beams, and it depicts on the left-hand side there's this host of warriors, and they are basked in golden light, and they are charging towards devils on the far side, and demons that are all, the devils are all sort of almost human, with horns and tails and that sort of thing, and weapons bared and their wings flying, and the demons are all sorts of horrors. And the leader of the heavenly host is a large humanoid with the face of a lion, holding aloft a massive glaive, and the light is just sort of hitting him. And it's a beautiful piece of artwork. And inside there's incense burning and people walking around with censers and talking in low voices to each other, and offering blessings and that sort of thing. And a tall figure in a hood walks towards you and lifts the hood slowly. And there's an orc cleric there who puts his hands together and goes, "Can I help you, child?"
Yes, I'm here doing a safety survey. Apparently there's been a lot of safety concerns lately among the faculty and staff. I'm sure you would be more aware of it than most.
We have been patching up a few. That is true. Well, how can I help?
Currently, I'm just doing a safety survey, and the results of this survey will be brought up in a meeting a few weeks from now. This is just preliminary. I'll start with what is the purpose of your current field of study or current research project?
Well, me, chance usually. Holds his symbol, and it's basically a D20, and he's like, priest of the Aaracokra, you understand? But what we're trying to do is make it more likely that God will assist if we call on them and ask for their help. It doesn't always happen, especially with us in the Aaracokra. So we're trying to slightly tilt the balance in our favour, make it more likely that a god will intervene on our behalf.
Weighting the dice, so to speak.
Exactly. Spoken like a true believer. Are you one of...
Oh, no, I'm I worship the twin gods, specifically in their epithet of the prisoner and the warden.
Oh, right, yeah, understandable.
It's not a popular god, and it is a niche version of the god to worship, but I mean, faith is like that sometimes.
All faiths are welcome here. You're not going to get any criticism from me.
Yeah, so, okay, in the past month or so, have there been any accidents, whether they involve any of your research or your studies, or just accidents in general that happen around here?
Not many in general, but there is one research project that we have that is particularly dangerous, you understand. It's not my project. You're going to want to talk to Ilks and Zilch. They'll be around here somewhere, but maybe try downstairs. And he points towards it. It's like a trapdoor, but it's open and there's a staircase going down. They go down. They go down there for the experiment because it's quite risky.
Okay, and final question: if there is any sort of, assuming there may be some sort of restructuring of things going forward, what would you like to see changed in the college?
I don't mean to talk ill of Ilks and Zilch, but they are dangerous. They are gonna be the end of this university if we don't put a stop to their experiments or get them a nanny or something like that.
No, normally I hear the same thing about the people over in the evocation building.
Well, they're dangerous too, but they'll mostly just kill themselves. And we can put them back together again. But what they're doing down there, and he points to that, take out the island.
Speaking of which, I adjust my hat. I should probably go see what that's about.
Tell them to knock it off, will you? Giving you the heebie-jeebies.
I give no promises.
May the dice be in your favour. Sorry,
I really.
It's my standard way of saying goodbye.
It's fine. Don't worry.
I don't know the quarrelling lovers one.
Right God, wrong epithet. It's a common mistake. Don't worry.
Sorry. I don't know the behaviours. There'll be someone around here who can give you a proper send off. I'm sure.
Again, though, don't worry about it. And I start making my way down.
Okay, so as you go downstairs, you start hearing quite a high-pitched argument going on. And there's this heavy set, almost like a dungeon door there, and behind it you can hear no, more energy, more blood. This is the way to do it. No, more. No, what are you doing about less? You always do it. You rig it.
I take a quick look around to make sure I'm not in the evocation building again.
You take a quick look around. There's actually a little grate in the door, and you can look in, and there's this single figure talking to itself, looking over a circle, and it's sort of it's very animated, and it's going no, more. It needs to be more, otherwise we won't have enough power to contain it. It's like no, less. You put more in, you'll field it and make it more powerful. What are you talking about?
I knock.
Okay, and the figure turns, and the hood is covered like all the others. And like, oh, okay, come in. It's a very thin hand, extremely thin wrist underneath it. But yeah, they're like, come in. How can we help you?
Hello.
We're Yilks, Wilks, and Zilch.
I only see one of you.
No, well, it's hard to the cloak, and suddenly the cloak collapses, and they step out from under it, and there are 3 kobolds. Nice to meet you. 3 small hands raised to shake your hands. Welcome to our experiment. This is the best one.
Thank you.
If anything's going to either destroy the university or make it resplendent, it's this. Really big chance. I don't know why the Wark up there doesn't like it. He loves chance. I don't know. Strange.
Well, this may be news you don't want to hear, but we are conducting a safety survey of the campus right now.
Sure.
There's been a lot of complaints recently about a lot of injuries, a lot of deaths. It's been costing the university a lot of money, both in resurrection and healing fees, as well as like psychological stuff. Therapy costs a lot. Death is very traumatic, no matter how many times it happens.
Well, yeah.
I've been asked to go around and just do a general survey. Nothing will come with it from this until like a few weeks down the line, but it's just a few questions if you don't mind.
Well, sure. No, don't touch it. Oh, Yilks is sort of holding out a hand towards what appears to be a small box in the middle of these circles. And one of them has gone and opened the box and pulled out a small bit of card and lifted it up and went, look what we're working to, and vanished. And well, Zilch was well named, wasn't he? Oh well, he'll be back later. Or some point. What card he draw? Donjon. Oh, he won't be back later. Well, he's still alive somewhere, but we'll have to go and get one of the big bods to cast Wish on him again.
Is that No, I'm not gonna.
Deck of many things. Oh yes. Oh, one of very few kind. Actually, it's a modified one. We've been stacking the deck. You understand? We're improving our odds of drawing something good, or at least we've been trying to. So far, we've drawn Dungeon. We've drawn Death. That was very fun for everyone. It wasn't very fun for everyone at all. We almost wiped out the entire Gold. Luckily, a lot of people very good at Resurrection here. But it took 2 weeks. But one of us got Star, which was very odd. We suddenly gained the ability to hit people twice in a 6-second burst.
I hate that I have to ask this, but out of curiosity, how many of the negative cards have you drawn out of the deck?
Oh, at least 6.
So, compared to how many of the positive effects?
2.
And the cards remain out of the deck once drawn, correct?
Normal. Well, no. No. Some do, not all of them. But with this one, never. The experiments we've been doing to try and rig it, we have what's called a checkpoint here. And he points to the circles underneath. What we do is we make a change. We draw a card. We see what happens. And then we invoke the magic of the checkpoint. And we go back an hour. And so it's undone. It's all, apart from anything that radiates outside the checkpoint, that's a bit of a bugger, and we have to do a lot of resurrections. But inside the checkpoint, it's all good. And that means any change we made to the deck, we can undo to the deck, not necessarily do anything outside the circle.
So theoretically, after enough tries, you can have a deck that has nothing but the positive effects of the cards.
If we can keep changing it, yeah. That's the hope. You heard the thing about baboons and typewriters? It's an artificer joke.
If you give infinite baboons, infinite typewriters, Count Goatgar will get angry and make you homeless your whole life.
That's it, exactly, yeah. And you'll be covered in shit. But the important thing is, right, you keep trying, and eventually you'll get only the good cards. But what we're trying to do is not just do that. We want to get rid of the bad ones entirely. Disintegrate them from the deck so they don't appear. It's a work in progress.
So, final question. What would you say you are currently right now at the state your deck is currently in? Is it more weighted towards the positive or negative cards?
We definitely draw more negative cards than positive cards at the moment. Yeah.
So as of this moment, there's probably a higher chance for a positive effect then.
Well, no, because of the checkpoint, we go back to the start.
Oh yes, that's right.
So it's always got the full deck, but we've definitely had more negative ones than positive ones. I mean, look at Zilch. Well, you can't. He's gone. Actually, that's a point. Rilks, do you mind? And Rilks draws basically scuffs the magic circle made of chalk, breaking the enchantment, and Zilch comes straight back. Luckily, he was in the circle. And the card has disappeared, and the deck is back to its full size.
So, Zilch, what did you see?
I've been here all along. What do you mean?
Worrying. Okay. How many Zilches are there out there?
Well, just one. He keeps coming back.
Look, because like you're just turning back. Basically, you're turning back time an hour, right?
Yeah.
So that right there is the past Zilch, which means the present Zilches are still out there somewhere. Would that not be correct?
No, he's right there. And Zilch is like, I feel a bit funny. I'm not gonna lie. Not going great. Stomach is awful.
Okay, I just start like scribbling some things down on the notepad or on the clipboard.
Was there anything else we could help with you?
Oh yes, sorry. I fear to ask, but how many accidents have there been here in the last month from this experiment alone?
Zilch, how many times have we drawn a card? I keep disappearing. Yeah, good point. We should have it written down somewhere. Hold on. And he runs off to the book. We wrote it down. Huh. There's nothing in here. Do you keep the book in the circle when... No, it's out here. Who was it? Rilks, was it you in charge of writing in this book? Not me, boss. It wasn't me, was it? No, not you, boss. It was Zilch's job. Oh. But he's in the bloody circle. You idiot! And he runs over and he just whacks Rilks on the head with the book.
Okay, so I'll just put that down as too many. And final question. If you were to assuming any sort of structural changes may be happening sometime in the future, what changes would you like to see happen with the university?
Well, we could do with more cards. There's only 21 in this.
Oh, so it's one of the lesser decks, not the greater one.
Well, it's the biggest one we found so far. And then Zilch pulls out another card, just as Zilch says, "No, we've not done the circle." All right, hold on. Okay, 19. That is rogue. Oh, fitting. A non-player character of the DM's choice becomes hostile towards you. Oh, excellent. So Ilks looks at Zilch like, I told you to wait until we built the fucking circle, and he throws the book at him and then runs over and starts trying to throttle him. Like, he grabs him by the ankles, like, I will kill you, Zilch. And Rilks is like, hey, boss, what are you doing? Trying to pull him away.
I go to help pull him off.
Yeah, you lift him up because he's not very, he's not very heavy at all. He's like, I'm gonna kill him. This is the last time he was meant to write the book, and he messed up. Circle, he keeps drawing bad cards. He's ruining it.
I toss Zilch out of the circle, and I look at Rilks. What's his name?
There's Ilks, Rilks, and Zilch.
I look at Rilks and say, when he lands, do the checkpoint.
But the circle's broken. We've got to re-energize the whole thing. The checkpoint's broken, boss.
How long will that take?
4 hours.
Okay, how far back can you throw the checkpoint?
1 hour.
I pull out some rope and I tie down Rilks.
Okay, you tie Rilks down.
Or not Rilks, the one who was trying to...
Yilks, yeah, or Ilks.
Yeah.
Okay, so you tie Ilks down. He's like, I'm gonna kill him, he's messed up everything.
Yeah, so good luck with that. I would probably not let him out until his murderous tendencies, go away.
Fun thing about the rogue card, it doesn't. Ever. I think other than a wish spell or divine intervention. Good thing they're in the God Hall, really.
You may want to go talk to the people upstairs.
And Rogue's like, alright, boss, alright. And hops up the steps.
Yeah, I follow and I leave.
Okay, he goes over there. As you're leaving, he goes over
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
What else is in the room?
In that room down there, it was just that one. Just the deck of many things in the
I know.
circles.
Okay.
Oh, do you mean up in the top?
No, I meant in the room below.
Yeah, it was just that. No one else wanted to go in that room because things like avatars of death kept coming out of the circle and things like that. They weren't.
I'm debating something. Give me a moment. Because you have presented me with a deck of many things. No, not worth it. I follow out.
You could draw one if you want. You remember what happened. You remember what happened to shinies.
I'm sorry, what happened to who?
Oh, well, yeah, Aao doesn't know what happened to shinies. But you, Iris, the player, knows what happened to shinies.
It's actually why I was asking so many questions about it. Because, like, if they'd gotten it somewhat, like, into better favor of the positive cards, I probably would have done it. Yeah. But yeah,
Bree's just like, do it.
If there's any more time left, if there's no more time left in the day, I think that'll be it.
That's going to be it, I think. So you head back to the stacks. And yeah, you pop in and you see Grounded has just arrived. She's swaying a little bit, and you can sort of smell the faint hint of like really awful beer off of her. But she's holding the harpies, and they're all making peeping noises about her. And Petra is looking exhausted. And she's like, I can't deal with these. You gotta take them somewhere else or something. I can't deal with them.
Well, I come bearing good news. I know how to open one of the locks.
Which one?
Crystal.
I've never been to that one. Must be quite far away from the quarry.
I mean, I actually got a bit lucky when with it all. Apparently, the person who created it was she was a relative of mine.
Relative of yours?
Yeah.
Here? Are you?
I'm just as
You're
surprised
a mage's
as you.
kid?
Godchild.
Oh, cleric. I get you.
No, that's not. That's not what that means.
Well, that'll help. That'll help a lot. I'll get you through one of them just 4 to go. And the vault. And getting to the locks. But I can help with some of that, at least.
Well, I'm actually pretty confident about the gem lock. If anyone knows gems and rocks, it's you.
I just know that I've been told not to go in, because it's broken.
I mean, is it broken? Or do they just not want you accidentally opening it?
There's signs at the front that say do not go in on danger of death, and I kind of felt in this university I would definitely believe those.
And I feel like the song lock, I feel like that may be a bit explanatory once we get there.
You think you're going to sing a song and get in?
I mean, I'm not, but Rizad may blast.
It's possible. Well,
I couldn't with my general scouting, I couldn't find anything out about the beast lock nor the god lock.
I think I know where the beast lock is, because something is causing a lot of rumbling, and that's to the northwest. I can't get anywhere near it though, but something is causing the ground to shake, and if it's a beast, that sounds right.
On the bright side, it may be a good thing that you may have to leave the university after all of this. Did you know there are that one of the experiments in the clerics area is they're just drawing cards from the deck of many things over and over again?
Is that what, like a deck of cards or what?
Okay, you are a mage.
I'm a geologist. I'm good at gems.
There's no excuse for this one.
I mean,
yeah,
it's a deck of cards.
Things. One of the most infamous magical items amongst mages and adventurers.
Would you pull a rabbit out or what?
Let me put it into perspective. I shuffle my marked deck of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I pull this card out. This is the death card. Because I just drew this card. A specter... The physical manifestation of death itself is coming to reap my soul because I drew this card.
She goes
and
pale.
Nothing in the world will stop it.
She's like, here? In my house?
No, this isn't the real deck. This is an example.
It's been a long day. It's such a long day.
Let's do another one. I shuffle the deck, I draw a card. Oh look! This one grants me 2 wishes of my choice. 2 true wishes.
Well, okay, I can see why people might like that deck.
Now imagine what happens if somebody bad gets a hold of it and happens to draw that card.
Oh. Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh, we can't have that.
I shuffle one more time. This one's a fun one. This one will teleport me to another plane of existence, and chain my soul there, and have it be guarded by a creature of deity level or higher, and for all of eternity, until somebody kills it and retrieves my soul.
Okay, so
just to give you a good range of ideas of what this deck you could pull out of this deck.
So we steal the deck of many things.
No. What we do is we finish our mission as quickly as possible, and we get out of here.
Okay, that sounds good.
At the very least, they have safety mechanisms while doing this ridiculous experiment.
I'll have to steal enough potions for us to get into the mirror run.
But I figured I could at least make you somewhat feel better about having to leave this place. With this experiment going on, I give this place a week stop.
We'll have to be fast then. I've got 4. Yeah, 4 here. That's going to be enough for you, Bird Brain over there, the Bard, and the Paladin, but I won't be able to come with you with just 4 of them. I need to go steal some. That is risky.
I've been being followed today.
Oh, well, I told you. Gargoyle will be fine.
Wait, that was Gargoyle?
Yeah, stands on tops of buildings and stares down at you. That's why he's called Gargoyle.
Yeah.
I don't know what his actual name is.
He may have been struck by lightning.
Nah, that happens a lot as well. Artificers are a weird bunch.
He's been following me all day. He hasn't spoken a word.
Well, he's a bit shy, but he's nice. He might. Can he be trusted? I don't know if he can be trusted. Maybe.
Well, we'll see.
Grounded in the room has just pulled out a shiny potion, having put 2 and 2 together, and said, "Actually, we have 5." And she goes, "Where did you get that?" And presumably Grounded would say, "Potion seller." Along the side of the road, and she's like, "That's strange, fortuitous, but strange."
Yeah, that guy had the weirdest potion. Like, one of them, I'm pretty sure wasn't a potion. It was just like a jar filled with pebbles. But like, it was magical.
Pebbles, you say?
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, I wish I had that one.
It was too expensive for me.
Oh, I love pebbles. Ah, well. And she said, "Well, okay, we've got 5 potions of mirror walking. That's 1 for each of us. We go to the mirror run tomorrow."
And we could hopefully make at least a good chunk of progress there.
Oh, yeah. Well, the good thing about the mirror run, all those mirrors, you can get out anytime. While you're under the effects of the potion. Don't let the effects wear off while you're inside. You'll be trapped.
Where do you happen to get these potions?
You can just commission them from the alchemists. It's just, if I say I need more when I've just gotten 4 of them, they're gonna get suspicious.
And the alchemists theoretically would be where?
Oh, well, they tend to come to you with their equipment. It's really, there's only 3 of them. As I said earlier, the artificers, if you need anything made. I mean, some of them are alchemists, some of them make devices and equipment, but, you know, they'll...
Okay, I'll be a bit more direct about this. You mentioned you were going to have to steal one. Where would you steal it from?
Oh, in the stacks. I would go to the house of one of the artificers that I know of. It's not... Gargoyle is one of those medical equipment ones, and, you know, in research stuff. Makes weird suits of armor and stuff like that. Not really into alchemy so much, but there's this old woman by the name of... Well, we just call her Nana, really. And she just does a load of potions and stuff for us. And yeah, we can get one from... I mean, you could probably buy one from her. Like, it's only because I'd be getting another one so soon after buying 4 that would be really suspicious. Like, I go through, like, 2 a week.
How long do these potions last?
1 day.
Oh, okay. That's convenient.
Well, 1 working day.
Less convenient.
Yeah. But you can get a lot done in 8 hours.
Well, then probably like after stream or something, we could probably do this. But I do want to stop by there and see what potions are for sale.
Oh, absolutely. We'll probably do that as the start of the next group session, actually.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, there are other options as well. So you're probably going to want to talk to Bree, who has, you know, proficiency in alchemy. But yeah, there are several ways of doing this, and all of them are perfectly viable. But yeah, we will stop there. You've made a lot of progress. I'll give you your XP afterwards once I've totted it up. But there's a fair bit because you actually got quite a lot done. As I said before the start of the stream, that this could either go really, really quickly or really, really slowly. And actually, we got loads done. To the extent that I had to improvise the last half an hour. No, last hour and a half. Sorry.
I mean, to be fair, I did skip over 3 of the schools to get to the God Hall.
Yeah, I hadn't prepped the God Hall at all because I thought that's where Rosad was going. But that's all right. I had some bits prepped. But yeah, I like that Bree was like, it's a good thing Grounded didn't go in the God Hall. Because of the mural up there. They were devils. They weren't tieflings being fought. They were actual devils. But yeah, it's just an old historic thing that happened centuries and centuries and centuries ago. But yes, I need to do the YouTube thing where I say there's going to be no fucking raids, and I will do the outro screen. The outro screen's been updated because we've got a new member on Ko-Fi. Thank you, NeoGeds. Your face is now on there. Technically should have been on there last time, but I forgot to update the video. But you know, that's all good. We're here. Everything's working now. So yeah, I will say good night to you, Iris. Thank you for playing. It was really good fun.
It's been a blast.
Yeah, it's been really good. I'm looking forward to next week is Ruzad's one, and then we're back to the group stage where we will be joined by a brand new player who is slightly singed.
So what you're saying is next week we get blasting.
Oh yes, it's back to blasting. Yeah, that one's going to be interesting. There may be something that happens before you actually enter the mirror run, because Ruzad and Ruzad and Grounded both have some real things they want done before They get in there, and that might take precedence. It depends. I think there's going to have to be a discussion on that between the characters.
I mean, to be fair, the jocks did say a couple of days, so we do have a day break before the hag thing. That's
true. You can spend a day going through the mirror run, getting some reconnaissance done at the very minimum, see what you're up against. That then gives you the avenues of exploration to look at outside in Cantlore, things that you might want to research and things like that so that you can get through further, or things you might want to acquire or, prepare for. But yes, I will say a good night to you, although I'll be in chat in a sec to do experience points, and I will mute you and say a proper good night to everyone. So good night, Iris.
Good night.
Okay. And now I will say to everyone else, good night. Thank you all for watching. It's been really nice having you all chatting alongside while we've been playing. It's been really fun reading everything you've had to say. And yeah, no raid because it's YouTube. That's not what we do here. And we're going to go to the outro. Enjoy the outro screen as usual, and I'll see you all next week. Boom.